probably be like a bunch of different subjects, like sports or current events, like you guys.
So what you're saying is we're basically your heroes in a sense.
Yeah, you're my idol, guys. You guys are definitely my idol.
Well, I mean, you're the first person to openly say it. We're glad to have you on board.
Yeah.
Slave for you, I think is what it was, where she was walking around with for some reason, a python or whatever around her neck. So that's Abby to you right now.
Yep.
You're just a couple of hip sways away from making teenage boys swoon around the world, Steve.
Here's what I've had to eat today. The top of a blueberry muffin.
Well, you don't want listen, the bottom's where all the dirt is.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
Leave that for the rats.
And that's it.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right, you're in a carb cutting mode.
Right, yeah.
Getting that beach bod ready for Saturday after.
Yeah, I got it.
That was before I went on my honeymoon in Jamaica, and I still miss it a lot. Just saying.
Still thinking about it.
Still thinking about it every day. Every day when I wake up, I'm like, this is not the beach. I don't feel humidity already.
We just got to the episode of The Office that you had referenced to.
Oh yeah,
where
now,
Michael.
You're doing the whole. You're binging.
I've seen it all, but
where
Katie
are you
watching it? Netflix.
Netflix has
all of the seasons.
Why is it that I checked there a couple of weeks ago and I couldn't find them?
It's definitely on there.
Huh. Okay,
so
good. That's good to know.
I thought about you fondly last night when we were watching the Jamaica episode, and Michael returned to the office with a single bead in his hair, and then when he just had everybody in his office or around, and he just kept playing the "I'm feeling hot" on his drum. I thought about you, maybe
stupid steel drum.
I thought about the equivalent of that, Steve, and tell me if I'm onto anything here. Of when you returned to work this past week, how, like, every conversation you just casually slipped in how you were at Sandals in Jamaica.
Sandals, Jamaica, yeah.
So free beer, hot wings, whatever, telling a story about their kids. Well, I didn't see many kids when I was down in Sandals in Jamaica, but
that's gonna restart. That's
all right.
Good. All right, let's just do it again.
Yeah.
No, but it would be, like Free Beer said, hey, Steve, do you have the commercial logs for this week? And I would say, in Sandals, Jamaica, there is no word for commercial logs.
In Sandals, Jamaica, they don't even have commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't wear your novelty T-shirt you no doubt bought from the gift shop that just has the Sandals logo.
Or my hat with Bob Marley dreads hanging out the back of it.
Yeah, you're not the big Rasta guy now walking around.
No, not so much.
So you're telling me that hasn't been you around the office telling people nonstop about Sandals in Jamaica?
Well, I definitely talked about it a bunch because a lot of people asked about it just after seeing pictures posted on Facebook and everything. But for the most part, I try not to be that guy. I'm sure I have at some point, but
people.
I know I have with Annette, definitely with Annette.
Well, I think it's probably hard too. People ask about, hey, how was your holidays? Whatever. Well, let me tell you.
Well,
you ever heard
my
of
holidays in Sandals, Jamaica?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's on all the commercials.
Yeah,
but we went to the resort.
Yeah, the commercial with the people running hand in hand down a beach. Into the surf.
Yeah,
that was us.
Well, that was. Those people looked like it was about 9:30 at night. So that wasn't quite you guys. Yeah. Yours was in bed by then.
Yeah, we did a very very reasonable 4 in the afternoon.
Sure,
dinner.
Your beach jogs were more located towards 3 to 5 p.m. is what you're saying.
Exactly, a sensible time.
Right, good.
Sensible time. It's
good.
The Steve and Kyle podcast, Sunday, January 14th, 2018, the year of our Lord, and we're back here for another episode in the cold, very, very cold weather here in West Michigan. It's snowing again as we speak. I noticed had the news on this morning, and they had the little 7-day forecast. 100% chance of snow tomorrow, so safe to say we're getting some snow tomorrow.
Oh, man. I can't. I'm dying still. I've been somehow... We haven't missed an episode, but I've been battling this illness for since December 27 now. And we're on January 14th this morning, where I cough and a lot of things mixed in with the home life right now that are making sleep a little bit unpleasant and different. So I can't kick this. So if you hear a coughing outburst, there's probably a good chance that one of those is going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of the times, like we make notes as we're recording the episode. So like you'll make a note of something, the strange occurrence where something funny happens.
Right.
So we can go back and use that audio later. A lot of times I'll just make notes so I know what we talked about, but I'll also make notes whenever one of us has like a coughing outburst. I know last year there was one time where I was sick, and it was like
impossible.
I think like 17 times throughout the episode. So what I do then is after we're done recording, I go back and I kind of clean it up a little bit so it doesn't sound that bad. But
that's our editing budget.
Yeah, exactly. I don't do it. When we send it to post, we
send that out to the studio with general time markers. They clean it all up.
What's the big post-production plate, like the Imagineers or whatever? Like the
okay.
Yeah. I send it down to Disney and they do.
Yep. That's our. We're right on schedule.
Yeah.
We're on their A client list, so we get priority over there. So those are bound to happen. I had a coughing fit. I want to say Thursday morning, in the morning before work, that was probably one cough away from me throwing up.
Oh, that's the worst.
That close.
Have you ever done that though?
Yeah.
I've done that before too, where you cough so hard that you actually puke.
It's crazy.
It makes you feel so pathetic.
I know.
Like, really?
Yeah.
I'm just coughing.
I didn't drink too much. I didn't do anything weird.
No, I did nothing. I did nothing
I can't
cool.
stop.
Yeah, I went to bed at a sensible hour and had a light dinner. And that's what I threw up.
Yeah, it's maddening to me. So apologies in advance if you hear one of those or if one of them slips through.
Yeah. So we got like I said, snow falling. We have a little bit of an update too.
Yeah, because there's two things. One of these things has been going on behind the scenes. We haven't even talked about it on the podcast, but it's been something going on.
Which one?
With your paid for plow service.
Really? We haven't talked about that at all?
Not once.
I thought we had.
But the other one that needs an immediate update, Steve, is we talked about you took a video. I want to say this was it a month ago? Yeah, because it was before Christmas.
Yeah, it was December. Either the incident occurred on either December 7th or 8th.
Okay, so we talked about, I'm sure, the following episode where it looks like a county snowplow, while going around your cul-de-sac, had clipped the driver's side rear of your Jeep.
Yes.
And
which was parked in the street.
Yep. And kept going.
Yeah, it was. So when we moved here in, I don't know, the middle of September, I think we moved in. Maybe October. I don't really remember at this point. Brought my Jeep from the old house. And at the old house, we had a one-car garage. So for the summer, the Jeep was in the garage and our cars were out in the driveway because, we don't need to park in the garage in the summer, even though it's nice. Park the Jeep in there because it's got a soft top on it, but every single Jeep ever made leaks in some way possible.
Right.
So we just kept it in there. When we moved over here, once we got to our new house has a 2-car garage, so we both parked in the garage since it was almost fall, and now officially winter at this point. And I had just had the Jeep parked on the street in front of the house, which is not out of the ordinary. Like my neighbor,
he's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people do it.
There's no signs anywhere that say no street parking. Nothing like that. It's not like Monday, Wednesday, this side, Tuesday, Thursday. It's everything about it is completely legal. So we had I think it's probably one of the first snowfall that a plow actually had to come through. So I decided, okay, I'm finally going to bring it in and put it either on the side of the garage, or when we had a fence put up when we first moved in, so that way the dog can go outside and not run away.
Right.
So when they put up the gate on the one side, I had them put in a double wide gate. So instead of a regular like 3 or 4 foot wide gate, it's like an 8 foot wide gate that opens on each side. It's basically like barn doors.
So you no doubt have your remote control or yell "Open Sesame." Your double wide privacy gate.
Yeah.
Slowly
iron
opens,
12 feet tall.
Yeah, when in actuality it's just timed with the slaves that you pay behind the gate to open it at that time.
They have a big wheel that they crank.
Yep, because again, we're in the wealthiest neighborhood in America in this story. Yeah. That's how it works.
So, like you said, I go around to my 3-foot tall white PVC fence.
Yeah.
And so I would, for a while, I actually had it parked in the backyard.
Yeah.
But before this, I was out. It was the day after. It was the day that it snowed, or the day after it snowed, or something. And I finally went out to the Jeep. The battery wasn't totally dead, but low enough where I needed to hook up jumper cables to it from my car. And so I'm sitting there just letting the battery charge for a few minutes before I tried to start it up. Just like, walking around and down at the street, like looking at my phone. And then I just happen to look up, and I look at the back of my Jeep, right next to the tail light, like right on the corner. And there's this big, I would say, softball size gash.
Yeah,
in the side of the Jeep, and I'm like,
it was red, right?
Like it was like yellowish orange.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, I know for a fact that wasn't there the other day, and I'm confused by it. So I'm thinking to myself, because I had that interaction where we got a kind of passive aggressive letter in our mailbox from our letter carrier.
Yeah, from the mailman, which, by the way, the man was just doing his job, serving this country and their need for mail in their mailboxes.
Yeah. Thank you for your service protecting the ends of driveways nationwide from sea to shining sea.
Yep.
So that was my first thought was, I can't believe it. The mail lady ran her mail truck into my Jeep.
Unbelievable.
Well, in this couple minute span, the mail lady came by. So I was up at the house, but I looked down, and just from looking at her vehicle, I knew that it couldn't have possibly been her at all. Just the bumper, like the shape of the vehicle, you could tell there was nothing
size wise. It didn't line up.
It didn't. Yeah, they did not match at all. So okay, you're lucky, mail lady. You're
shake your fist anyway. Reminder, steer clear.
Yeah, vindication, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, I have another bone to pick with her, based on something that happened earlier this week
with the mail lady.
Yeah.
So you are hell bent on trying to find something from this
dude,
country serving citizen.
Did I tell you about the delivery where it was a COD? I guess. Did we talk about?
Oh yeah. You received I don't think it was about. Yeah. I don't think it was
tangent,
on the podcast.
Tangent, by the way.
Yeah, but you received a gift
that
was a little short on shipping.
Well, the person had sent it. They had our old address, so it went there, and then I guess the person there said they rejected it, or they sent it back, or whatever, or they tried to deliver it and they just realized, oh, this person doesn't live here anymore. So it went back to like the sorting facility, and then the next day they delivered it to our new house. But yeah, so the woman came up, knocked on the door, and that was like, oh, great, thank you. And the mail lady said, it's $7.80 short, like it's owed. What? It's not like we moved 100 miles. We moved 4 miles or 5 miles.
That's such a weird. It must be some regulation, or if a package gets rejected,
I don't know.
Which is crazy because it's not like you put in the wrong address.
Sure. No, you would think that they'd send the sender
the bill.
The bill, yeah.
So what would have happened if you rejected it? Would it have just gone back and sat in the middle of a post office? Dungeon of rejected items.
A black hole.
Yeah,
there's black hole.
There's like old, 2001 Dell laptops in this weird warehouse. And then
it'd be those the computers that came in the big cow box.
Oh, right. Yeah. What
was that? Gateway.
Gateways, yeah. And then next to that, brand new hot gateway is your bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, so we had to pay them $7.80. I still feel as though that was extortion. It's not my fault.
Have you thought about sending a letter to the president?
No, not yet.
The postmaster, maybe? Is that still a position?
The postmaster general?
So is that an appointed position to where Like, is that politically charged? So is it like you have to go through Congress to get appointed? But like, are you going to deliver the mail swiftly and fairly?
Let's see. If you can guess the current Postmaster General, I will give you $1,000.
Oh, boy. We're going to go Bill James.
Let's see. Bill James. Billjames.
Maybe William, obviously.
Of that name, you got, I think, 2 letters.
Hey! That's good.
Yeah. Megan J. Brennan is the 74th and the first female Postmaster General of the United States and the chief executive officer of the world's largest postal organization.
So is that appointed?
Is appointed by the governors of the Postal Service, which didn't know there was a governor of the Postal Service.
I'm beginning to see why this loses billions of dollars a year. Yeah. So now how do you become a governor?
That's a good question.
I'm just wondering how
I am not going to look up.
I just need to know how I work my way up. Now, didn't we speak
because you're thinking of switching careers and finally becoming
living the dream,
becoming the postmaster or the mail delivery correspondent that you've always wanted to be.
Now, if I remember right, we spoke to somebody on 2 Minutes of Awkward Conversation who was a postal worker.
Yeah.
I think we need to figure out the line of succession. Like, what needs to happen for him to become a governor? Or
I would bet that there's probably like a chief representative of your area, and then you move on to something else, and then some. I bet there's like 4 steps before the governor.
This thing is just more complex than the court system, and it's all about delivering Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Yeah, I get a lot of them. Get a whole lot. Just 20%. Why with the amount of coupons that Bed Bath & Beyond sends out, just reduce the price of everything by 20%. Save all the shipping.
Right. You'd come out ahead.
Yeah.
So it should go Postmaster General, and then everybody delivering the right. You don't need a board of governors or a community of counselors. Or
maybe base it on whoever delivers the mail the fastest.
Yeah, that's how you get promoted.
Just put a little stopwatch in all the vehicles. And
I'd win that. I'd have all of them rubber banded, and I'd whip them like out the door. Yeah, onto the doorstep.
Yeah. So this whole debacle went down. I by a court of my own peers, being me, I cleared the postal worker from any wrongdoing, and then I was I looked at the evidence that was presented to me.
Sure.
And I said, well, it's bright yellow / orange, which is typically the color of a snowplow or some kind of apparatus on the front of a vehicle. I looked at the you know how when the plow goes by, obviously all the snow gets pushed like to the right.
Yeah.
So there's a point where there's freshly paved area, and then there's like the wall of snow. Well, I followed that wall of snow all the way around the cul-de-sac, and wouldn't you know it, it ended right at the back of my vehicle, and then you see it kind of
veer to the side,
jut over to the side.
Yeah.
So the evidence in front of me proved to me beyond a reasonable doubt, or beyond the shadow of a doubt, or whatever it is, that a plow truck had smashed into my vehicle.
Okay, so judge and jury, Steve, you let the local post woman off the hook out of the goodness of your heart. Mm-hmm. You've got a different target in your sights now, and it's the local. That's county. That's county road. County Road Commission.
Yep. Now this was something for me to learn because my first. So I pulled out my phone. My first phone call was to the township, and I said, "Hey," I was extremely polite. I couldn't have been more polite. Mm-hmm. I said, "Hi. It snowed. I think a township vehicle, plow truck, hit my vehicle because there's obvious damage and blah blah blah." So she said, "Oh, okay. Well, it wouldn't be. I'm sorry to hear that, but it wouldn't be township. The only township plows, they plow like parks and running paths or bike paths or something.
So they probably
like
just have like the bobcat.
The
go
little
down
side by
sidewalks.
sides with the. Yeah, she said they just do the small stuff. It's the county that handles the roads. I said, okay, can you get me in touch with them? So she got me in touch with them. I left. It was like the chief road commission officer. I don't know. So she got me in touch with him. I left him a voicemail. And because it was Friday afternoon at like 4:55 or something.
After it had been snowing for, what, a week straight?
Yeah. Wasn't expecting to hear back. So I figured I'd hear back the next week. Well, I never did. And I kind of forgot about it for a couple weeks because things were hectic leading up to...
Why is that, Steve? Where were you?
Well, let me... It's funny you should ask that. Because,
you forgot about it. Something must have happened.
I forgot about it because it was busy at work. And on the 23rd of December, my wife and I left for our honeymoon in Sandals, Jamaica.
Sandals, Jamaica. Now, that's the resort from the television, right?
Let me tell you. Sandals, Jamaica, they don't have snowplows. You know why, Kyle?
Why is that?
They don't have snow down there in Sandals, Jamaica. Yeah. It's very... I mean, you pay for it. You pay for what
you're getting, right?
For there to be no snow.
Paying for the luxury. No, okay, so you're down in Sandals. Okay,
Sandals, Jamaica.
So it kind of fell by the wayside.
It fell by the wayside. But while I was laying on the beach at Sandals, Jamaica. It's a beautiful resort, all inclusive, down in Ocho Rios.
So that's on a beach?
Oh yeah, right on a beach in Ocho Rios, Jamaica, which is on the northern coast of the island of Jamaica.
Okay.
So we're laying on the beach. And I'm just like listening to podcasts, listening to music. I got nothing else to do. Let me fire off an email to the old road commission.
Okay.
To see if they got my voicemail.
So this is now the second instance where we have to discuss. So
my romantic way.
The way you utilize.
I'm not going to let you do it. Not going to let you do it because she was also my wife Annette was in a chair next to me and she was sitting there reading a book. Okay. It's not like she was, purring next to me and pawing at me. I get it.
So on two separate occasions now, you were in a bathing suit in the middle of December on the northern coast of Jamaica.
Sandals, Jamaica.
Sandals, Jamaica, the resort that's on the northern side is from what I hear.
Of course. Everyone knows that.
And one time you were looking at new garage door openers.
Oh, yeah.
And the second time you decided to bust out a grievance to the county road commission via email.
That's right.
Huh.
I felt like I was taking care of a lot of business on this honeymoon.
Boy.
Because I also had to deal with my lackluster performance of the company that I hired to plow our driveway.
Yeah.
That was like a daily thing while we were there too.
Right.
Making phone calls to them. That was great. So I'm laying there. I got nothing else to do. We're just sitting here on a beach.
Sure.
Let's fire off an email. So I go to their website and filled out the little form, the contact us form, and again, super polite. I said, "Hey, I called back on the 8th or the 7th or whatever. I'm pretty sure that a vehicle hit my truck or hit my Jeep while it was plowing our cul-de-sac. If somebody could get back to me, that would be great." Now, I don't know about you, but when I fill out those contact us forms on any website, I just assume they're going to the address of somebody who hasn't worked there in a decade.
Yeah, or it's filtered directly to a trash folder.
Yeah. So I was shocked when less than 10 minutes later, I got a response back from somebody saying, "We got your voicemail, but for some reason the end of the message was cut off. So we didn't have your complete phone number," which I kind of call BS on because whenever I leave messages like that, because I get enough voicemails where I know like there's a certain way that I think everyone should leave voicemails. When I left a voicemail, I say, "Hi, my name is Steve. My phone number is blah, 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 blah." Then I leave the point of my message, and then at the end, I say, "Again, my phone number is..." So that way...
You're a radio guy. You double tag.
Exactly. Yeah. Bookending the break with my phone number.
Yep, you got to hit that clock.
Because I hate when you start to listen to a voicemail and they don't do that, and then I don't know. Just make it easier. Put it right at the beginning, so if I have to go back and listen to it, I don't have to listen to the entire message
for the number
to get to the number.
Yep.
So I know that I did that. They said it was cut off. Okay, fine, whatever. They said, okay, yeah, no problem. Fill out this form. Send any pictures or video that you have, and
you already said you were fully
got them on my phone.
Up with evidence.
Got them on my phone. So now one of the bad things I have to say about our stay at Sandals Jamaica, you say, in Ocho Rios, is there's free internet across the whole resort, which is good because our phones don't get any service down there.
Right.
The internet's not the best.
All right, so you got to plug in the Ethernet to the bottom of your iPhone.
To the bottom of my phone, yeah.
Yep.
So it took like 40 minutes for, I think, 4 pictures and a video to attach. Yeah. But I sent it in, and they said, I then got, within maybe another hour, got an email back from a guy that said, okay, no problem. He needed like one more piece of information, and he said, once you get this all back to me, it'll be submitted, and it'll take 3 to 5 weeks for them to make a decision.
What? So there's, again, now I know it feels like we're beating a dead horse. There's now another committee who makes a decision on if this plow actually hit your Jeep, or if you walked around the cul-de-sac and scraped your foot in the form of a snow pile to make it look like it hit your Jeep. Okay.
So
two options.
He said that they were going to check GPS coordinates because they can tell. I guess all their trucks have GPS in them. Yeah. So if an incident like this happens, they're able to tell who was in that area at what time.
So you're getting someone fired now.
Oh yeah, gone. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
that $300,000 a year county job. Yeah. Where you work for them for 1 week and instantly you have benefits for 3 lifetimes.
And 60% of it's overtime.
Yeah. So he said, yeah, no problem. Fill this out and we'll get right back to you. And so at that point, I thought, I think this has a shot. Like I have a shot at actually, because if he had looked at those pictures and said like, sorry, man, there's zero evidence there, or like you can't just. It's not like I had no proof.
Right.
I feel like if there was no chance of me getting any kind of reimbursement, it would have been cut off there.
But to be honest, the only more evidence you could have would be a security camera from your house that caught a plow hitting your Jeep as it happened and then speeding off.
Right.
Which
even so, even if I had a camera on the front of my house aimed down there, you wouldn't be able to tell. Yeah, that angle you wouldn't be able to tell.
Right.
Because it obviously barely hit it because I mean it didn't hit it enough where it like shifted the vehicle forward 10 feet or anything.
Right,
it was just. So I submitted all of that like the Monday that we were back. Or maybe, no, it was maybe like we got back on a Sunday from Sandals, Jamaica, Sandals, all-inclusive resort in Ocho Rios, Jamaica.
Ocho Rios?
Ocho Rios, yes. It means 8 rivers.
Now, is that like on the, like in the middle of Jamaica?
Oh, no. It's on the North Coast.
The North Coast. Oh, boy. So you stick all the poor people down on the south side?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, spoiler. Everything in Jamaica is the poor area.
And on the north side, it turns out.
Yeah. So I submitted all of that last week. The guy got back to me again. He said, all right, I need you to get me 2 estimates for the repair work and send me your insurance information. So at this point, I'm like,
it's happening. Now we're done. It's happening.
Time to cash in.
Yeah.
Because I always hear of all these people saying like, yeah, somebody hit me. They just, their insurance company cut me a check. I didn't get the damage fixed because honestly, the damage on it, like, it's not that bad.
It's pretty minimal. Yeah.
It's pretty minimal, but it's something where I would feel comfortable fixing it myself.
Right.
Probably wouldn't look perfect, but I mean, the thing's 37 years old, so sure. I'm not super concerned about it. So I went out and I got 2 estimates. 2 very, very differing estimates.
What was one, like, we have to rebuild the Jeep from the driver's side door to the rear bumper?
No, it was basically... Now, what they do, because I took it to 2 different body shops, one of them said, we can easily fix the damage, we can easily paint it, but the issue came when they put clear coat over top of the paint.
Yeah.
And it's the little protective layer. So he said, normally what we do is we spray the clear coat up to the next edge. So, like, up to the fender line or the door or whatever.
Okay.
Well, the problem with that Jeep is it's the previous owner had swapped the body of the Jeep is normally metal, but they're notorious for rotting out. So he had swapped on a fiberglass body. Like the whole body of that Jeep is fiberglass. It's one piece. There are no seams anywhere. So he said we would have to paint and then clear coat the entire Jeep except for the front fenders and the hood. So the entire body would get repainted and cleared.
So how much was that estimate?
Well, at this point, I'm thinking, jackpot. I'm going to be making thousands off of this.
Well, yeah.
Or my Jeep is going to have a brand new paint job, and this is going to be great. So that estimate was for $2,300.
Oh, my
to almost
gosh.
20. I think it was like $2,385 or something. And honestly, it's a very fair estimate. Like I'm not ripping on this company at all.
Well, I mean, for the work that had to be done, it makes sense.
Sure.
It's just crazy that that's the amount of work.
They gave me a step-by-step printout, and I was like, okay, cool.
Right.
And I think that it's a very fair estimate. Honestly, I'm surprised that it wouldn't be a little bit higher.
Well, the full repaint.
Just based on the amount of work that they had to do. So I left there. I was like, all right, cool. And I said, hey, I explained the situation. I said I have to submit it. It's going to be 3 to 5 weeks. So, hopefully I'll hear back sooner. But
hopefully the cost of paint doesn't go up in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. So I took it to a second shop, and their estimate was it was about $700 because what they were planning on doing is fixing the damage, and then he said that they could, instead of clear coating the entire thing, they could do it where they just kind of blend the clear coat, so they go about a foot out from the damage. And I mean, take it like, say you had a can of spray paint. Instead of aiming the spray paint directly at the panel, you do that over the damage, but then you kind of pull it away.
So it's like when you get a haircut.
Yeah,
they blend the short to the long.
So, and that estimate, I was like, cool, seems very fair.
Yeah.
Scanned the estimates, sent them both to the company, and I think it was the next day I got a phone call from a guy who's an insurance adjuster who represents the county, and he had a couple of questions for me. He said, okay, do you have this, what insurance company do you have, and this and that. And he said, okay, well, what we'll do is we'll cut you a check for the lower of the two estimates, and so, yeah, go ahead and get the vehicle repaired, and once you get it repaired, send us a copy of the completed invoice, and we'll cut you a check. And I was like, that's it?
Wow.
Like, there's no argument here?
That wasn't 3 to 5 weeks.
No. I was really hoping he was going to say, yep, we'll cut you a check. It'll be in the mail tomorrow. And meaning I could just take the check and
do what you want. Yeah,
exactly.
But they're probably going to cut it end up directly to the repair shop.
No, they are cutting it directly to me.
Oh, okay.
But it's after I show them the damage has been.
So they probably had this before.
Yeah, so
where
basically,
people are saying this.
Basically, for about a week, I'll be out the $700 that it costs to get the thing fixed.
Yeah. Now, do you get to go to the hearing where this man loses his children because he no doubt lost his job,
where he's put on trial,
and his wife left him because he can't afford anything anymore? So, do you go to that and apologize, or do you just go to that and like as a character witness?
You mean accept an apology? Yeah, I will be there to accept this this Minger's apology.
Maybe somebody knows better. Maybe somebody is like a county employee, like a road commission employee that listens. How does that work? Like if you get, because it's bound to happen.
I can't imagine that.
Is there like a demerit system so you get,
to be honest, I don't really fault the person for not stopping, leaving a note, whatever, because with the size of the vehicle that he or she is driving, with the size of the vehicle that they hit, they probably just barely clipped it. There's no way, like, if I get in an accident in my car, if I clip a car, I'm going to feel it.
Yeah.
But they're driving these massive vehicles that have, a couple tons of salt in the back of them. Right. They're loud. They're constantly making noise because they have a plow dragging underneath of them. If they clip a little tiny vehicle that weighs nothing because it's made out of paper, basically, they're not going to feel it.
Nope.
But, I mean, that being said, it's still the responsibility of them to make it good, to make it right.
Right. I just wonder how that felt like. Because, like we talked about, it happens. There's no doubt it happens. Especially, I mean, we talked about the area where you live. I mean, if you think about neighboring cities where side street parking is much more common, that probably happens
all the time.
Often. So I bet you I would bet there's some type of system to where, hey, you've clipped 8 cars this winter, you're fired.
Yeah, you've clipped 8 cars, and 4 people need new mirrors.
Yeah. And also let's not forget the cul-de-sac of mailboxes you mowed over.
Well, there was, because I think it was like the next day or within a couple days, I happened to be outside when a plow went by.
Yeah.
And it was so obvious what part of the plow it was.
Right.
Like on the front of the plows there, all the way on the end, there's like a spot where basically like a little bar sticks up so the driver can see where the edge of the plow is. Mm-hmm. And there's like this yellow like bracket that sticks off the side of it just at the height. I mean, they had to have looked at the pictures in the video and been like, oh yeah, that was the whatever bracket that obviously clipped it. So they decided not to pursue any legal issues with old Steve here.
Well, whereas
old attorney Steve already had the conviction.
Whereas the United States Postal Service was prepared to take action upon you if you did not move that Jeep.
Yeah, boy, they left a very strongly worded email.
Not happy with
very
you.
strongly worded letter form in my mailbox.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. One arm of the government you don't want to piss off, Steve. Well, the people who drop off those coupons.
Boy, was I disappointed once again with my letter carrier last week.
Yeah.
Monday came and went. Tuesday came and went. I think Wednesday came and went. We had no mail. I thought that's strange because at least we get the Bed Bath & Beyond coupon or 16 letters for the previous homeowner, no matter how many times I asked them to please stop delivering mail for the previous homeowner.
That's amazing.
And
anything good?
I said
anything like like an old check or like a family court summons?
No, nothing good. It's just all like, hey, come to Bible study. Yeah, no thanks. Appreciate it. So I said to Annette, I was like, it's weird that we haven't gotten mail in 3 days. Like, occasionally, very, very, like, seldomly, a day will go where we don't get anything.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's always something in the mailbox. And so I noticed when I walked down to the mailbox, like, the second or third day, you can see that, again, my spidey sense is tingling because I can see that, again, tracks in the snow right up to our mailbox. Like, you can see a vehicle's tracks stop, and there would be no other vehicle that would be driving
that close
in that direction. So I was like, oh, cool, mail today. Open the mailbox, there's nothing in there. This is really weird. So I said to Annette, I was like, what? Why are we not getting mail? Like, she obviously, now granted, maybe she pulled up, went through her little bin and said, oh, they don't, nothing for them today, and kept going. But Annette said, I bet it's because there's too much snow around our mailbox because we've gotten a ton of snow.
But she was able to pull up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. She was.
Did you ever get to the bottom of it?
So I said, okay, let's do an experiment. So I went outside and I mean, there was a ton of snow. There's snow everywhere. I mean, you look around at all the other mailboxes, there's just as much snow by them.
Right.
And I think it would have been, because they're obviously seated on the right side of the vehicle, they have those big windows, it would have been a matter of her reaching out the window, like, arm extended, or reaching out the window, arm extended, and maybe leaning an extra 4 inches for her to reach our mailbox.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, no mail in there. So I went out the one night, and I chiseled away at the snow wall, and I gave her probably another 6 to 8 inches worth of room, because at that point I can't break it down. Like, I cannot cut through this snow wall anymore. It's basically solid ice from being just packed with snowplow after
tires,
snowplow.
And then when it, if it even remotely melts and then freezes, it's just a ball of death.
So the next day, walked out to the mailbox. Wouldn't you know it, I got about 9 days worth of mail stuffed into my mailbox.
Huh. Well,
yeah.
I kind of side with the mailman.
Yeah, why is that?
They're just trying to do their jobs.
Right, yeah. They're not trying hard enough.
Right.
Because
there's got to be some type of ordinance that this lady just feels like I'm following to the T based on the Jeep in front of the house thing.
Yeah, like she rolls down her little mail
and measures
mail window and sticks a yardstick out the window,
and then takes a picture and says, "See, I can't reach this. I have right arm tendonitis." Yeah. And if I reach too far, it flares up.
Now, the thing that I think that the thing I don't like about it is I would have said that I have a very good rapport with our letter carrier because I see her all the time. I'll be outside, and if I see her pull up, I always walk down. Like, if I see her coming through the neighborhood, I always walk down and meet her as she pulls up to the house, take the mail, little conversation. Hey, how's everything today? Okay, well, stay warm out there.
Yeah.
And she's always extremely pleasant. That's why I'm getting a little pissed off at her passive-aggressive actions. If she had a problem, if there was too much snow, she could have just said, because I saw her like a day earlier.
Right.
She could have just said, hey, just so you know, it's real difficult for me to get up close to the mailbox. I still would have thought it was BS, but I would have said,
right,
no problem.
Sure, I'll shovel.
I'll go grab a shovel right now. Get you dug out. Don't want you taking forever to deliver the mail,
right?
Making your day longer, away from your family. All of a sudden, your marriage breaks down.
Yep.
Kids are living in Uncle Louie's house,
and then next thing you know, Steve's responsible for 2 dissolution of marriages, both government workers.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, if you just did your job better.
Is this just you with like this crazy anti-government thing going on now? Like, are you trying to stick it to the man? Like, screw the county and the road commission, and now screw the United States Postal Service, which has never done anything wrong outside of losing billions of dollars on a yearly basis.
Other than that, just a great group of people.
Yeah, can't hold them accountable. So you finally got your mail back.
Finally got our mail.
Now, did you receive any other packages during that time, like UPS or DHL or
DHL?
You know, they're still around. They've got to be still around. I don't know what they deliver.
I'm trying to think. I don't.
Well, because they go to doorstep though. They don't. They won't leave anything in the. That's right.
Yeah, because they're somebody else. I mean, they're committed to their work.
Oh.
Yeah. They have to actually get out of the vehicle and walk. Yeah. Yep. They're not just concerned with the end of the driveway. They're concerned with the whole driveway. Maybe a walkway and a porch too.
If the UPS cared enough about their employees, they would install UPS boxes at the end of everybody's driveway for packages to be delivered.
Well, no, because they've seen the failure on the part of the U.S. Postal Service. So why would you want to recreate that terrible business model?
But there's no way it's more financially responsible for them to pull into every driveway, get out, and go to the doorstep at every house.
It is to construct a mailbox, a separate mailbox?
But now it's like law where like you have to have a mailbox, right?
Do you?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, the thing that I don't like the whole mailbox down at the street thing, which is what this neighborhood is. But is that a law? Can I put one on can I just nail one to the front of my house? I think it's neighborhood dependent because you'll see like houses on a busy street will not have end of driveway. They'll have the boxes on their doorstep, and I think that's a lot based on like snowplows too. They're probably getting the crap kicked out of them, and also because they can't have a USPS car or whatever going 3 miles an hour on a busy road. I think I have a plan. I'm going to put my mailbox in the middle of the cul-de-sac, so it'll be a little inconvenient for the mail lady because she'll have to climb over to the correct side of the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
So,
she could just come in the cul-de-sac the wrong way.
That's true. She could do that.
So that's what you.
And those are short vehicals. If it's snowy, she could yank the e-brake and whip that thing around pretty easily.
Now, when does the cul-de-sac council meet? Is that like monthly?
Yeah.
Because maybe you guys should talk about doing a hub of mailboxes.
Oh, I don't want mailbox. I don't like mailbox hub.
I want just yours,
just mine,
in the middle of the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, and then what I'm going to do is rig it up like when you go to the bank drive-through.
Sure.
There's the tube. And then, all of my mail will go in a tube.
So you're going to go over?
No, under.
You're going to go under.
Yeah,
okay.
Under.
Boy, that will be the more expensive route to go, but I appreciate it.
But it's just for me.
Right.
See, I'm taking on the expense myself. I'm not expecting, like you are, a company like UPS to suddenly install 300 million mailboxes across this country.
No, but I'm just saying that you can't tell me that that's a more financially responsible way to do it.
To what?
For them to get out of their their trucks at every stop and have to go
more
up to the
financially
doorstep.
responsible than what though?
Like the USPS, where it's just you're supposed to have a box at the end of every.
Well, I mean, yes, it is because to do it your way, again, mailboxes would have to be installed.
But
assuming,
the USPS does not pay for that. Like if I move into a brand new house,
right? But you did say that you want UPS to install mailboxes at the end. Do you want UPS to foot the bill for that, or do the?
It'd be a nice elective like if you like let's say you're running a small business out of your house,
yeah,
and that's an option. Do you do that?
Well, then, but what if FedEx wants in on it too? What if DHL wants in?
Well,
on
then
it
at that point, it's your choice.
Do we just have this like?
It's like a shed. It's a shed of delivery boxes at the end of your driveway.
Okay, but I think you got me on board.
But
now.
You get so many different types of
it.
UPS boxes. It's going to need to be like one of those novelty mailboxes that's like a golf ball or something, but it's actually like 80 inches deep.
Yep. Yeah.
So like when you order, a car part
or curtain rods,
they wedge a fender into your UPS delivery box.
I think that we're really jumpstarting the economy here.
We're trying. Mm-hmm. We're trying because Lord knows the delivery service as it stands is failing miserably. Yeah. Just ask our president.
Now, when does a company like Amazon, because Amazon is just buying up everything. They bought Whole Foods. They're a like multi-billion-dollar corporation. Yep. At what point do they because obviously they're working on drone delivery.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they don't have their own fleet of Amazon delivery vehicles.
Right. I wonder if
there would be UPS, FedEx, DHL, Amazon. Like you'd see the Amazon truck driving through the neighborhood.
There's got to be something said about, because you hear in those ads too that you hear on radio shows and podcasts about like the food delivery services, and they talk about food deserts. Mm-hmm. There's got to be things where it's makes zero sense to have an Amazon delivery vehicle.
Sure. Well, they wouldn't do it. I think it would be dependent on the area. Obviously, it would be dependent on the demand in the area.
Right. It's kind of,
like in New York City, of course, there's going to be,
a billion of them.
Yeah, exactly. It would make sense to have them there because I'm sure that there are 5 different shipping facilities and there's already a ton of vehicles on the road. Just throw a couple more thousand Amazon trucks out there, too.
Well, according to our president, Steve, Amazon is getting a sweetheart deal from the Postal Service.
Are they?
And yeah, that was a couple weeks ago, is that the Postal Service, which is losing like billions of dollars every year, is charging too little to Amazon to deliver packages. Mm. So maybe this is what drives Amazon.
So is he saying that he wants them to renegotiate a deal?
I guess.
So they'll have to pay more, which those increases would be passed along to
it's a weird
consumer.
Right.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a weird double.
He's got the
layman at heart. Mm-hmm. It's a weird double.
He's just like us. Right. He's just like us.
Celebrities, man, just like us. Yeah. It's a weird double-edged sword because Amazon's probably one of the only reasons that the United States Postal Service is still currently functioning at the level it has been, even though they're losing money, just based on them having this much to deliver. Mm-hmm. I mean, outside of Christmas cards, if they didn't have Amazon packages and deliveries and internet deliveries, I guess, in general, what else would they be delivering? Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
Your yearly journal for what's new in sandals. Jamaica.
Yeah, sandals, Jamaica. Sandals, Ocho Rios.
Ocho Rios, that's it's the northern side. That's it. Like you're going to get your AARP magazine if you're older. You're going to get your AAA Living magazine if you're a member of AAA.
Because most days I'll pull into the garage after work. I will walk down the driveway, grab the mail out of the mailbox, kind of sift through it as I'm walking back up the driveway, and before I even get in the house, half of that stack is in the recycling bin.
It's garbage. Absolute waste of time.
Yeah.
Yep. That's losing billions of dollars. Sweetheart deal there with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not your only issue you've had, though, Steve. Now, this is one that I was kind of surprised because it's been festering since the start of winter.
Yeah.
And we haven't addressed it on the podcast.
This all started around the same time as the great cover-up where where the county smashed into my vehicle, causing
that's a cover-up now.
Causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. I can legitimately say that. I have a...
You have a quote that justifies it?
I have a quote that justifies it.
So we're now at a government-level cover-up for thousands... Okay.
Thousands of dollars of my hard-earned money.
Sure.
Basically, Uncle Sam walked into my house and said, hey, time for me to take your money.
Right.
Time for you to do nothing about it.
Stole your money.
Stole my money. Stole my money right from my hard-earned pocket hands.
Yep.
That's what people say, right?
Is that pocket? You want to try pocket what?
Hard-earned pocket hands.
Pocket. Huh. Yeah.
I've been busy putting in the old work.
Putting in the old vocabulary work, I guess.
This started a couple of months ago when I dragged my like 35-year-old snowblower out of the shed that I had bought from a former intern's mother, and I had it running a couple of years ago, and it worked fine. It was doing all right, but this thing was a beast. It was all metal. Like now, if you go out and buy a snowblower, a lot of the components are plastic and like really thin metal. Well, this was built when America was great. When it was, everything's made out of 1/4-inch steel and iron. So God forbid you ever have to lift the thing up, like to put it in a truck or put it on a trailer. Not happening.
So obviously not self-propelled like.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's self-propelled. It's got this. It's got like a V8 engine.
Are you sure that's just not gravity-based? Because it's so heavy that once you get it on a slope, it just starts going.
Shoots down. No, this thing. When I had it running, it worked pretty well. But when I moved into Annette's house a couple of years ago, she had a snowplow service the year before. Was very happy with them, so we're like, well, screw it, let's definitely do that again. It's much easier than dealing with all that. Plus, if I have to leave for work early in the morning and it snows overnight, it's pretty nice walking outside and having the driveway already plowed. So signed up for that again. We had them for like the last 2 years. And a couple of months ago, I called the guy that we had used the last couple of years to say, hey, we moved. We're now living here. Do you service that area? Because we'd love to hire you again. Well,
right.
He has since sold his plow, and he's gotten into a different profession. So
wow.
he said, sorry, I'm not plowing this year. I'm like, crap. Because we had already waited too late in the year, or I had already waited too late in the year to get in touch with the plow company.
Yeah, too busy looking at those Jamaica pictures,
right?
Getting ready
from when I was in Jamaica, Sandals, Jamaica.
Was that like for your like a vacation?
That was a honeymoon.
Oh, okay, huh?
It's like I'm married.
Boy, you went down there for your honeymoon. You came home to garage door openers and a snowplow service.
Yeah. Yep, hell of a time.
Romance is not dead. I don't care what anybody says.
So I'm frantically, this is like probably the beginning of December. I'm frantically calling every snowplow company I can find.
Because they all have routes,
they all
right?
have routes.
So they'll say, I'll take on this many customers, and based on how long it takes to get all these places,
sure,
I can do this route in this many hours.
Makes total sense.
Yep.
So I went to our friends, your friend and mine, the Informed page, the old local watchdog.
The watchdog page came in the clutch.
Because there were a ton of posts on there about, hey, does anyone have a good plow company? Can you recommend this? How much are they? So a lot of people had commented on this one, and they said, oh, they're really good. I used them. Actually, nobody, now that I think about it, nobody said that they had used them before. But everyone said, this is the company I went with.
Yeah.
These are the terms.
Somebody actually was the cheapest.
No, it wasn't. Somebody actually scanned the contract and posted it and said, so I read it over. I thought, this seems like a great deal. They have the guarantees that they'll plow by a certain time, which to me always seems weird because you can't guarantee that a driveway is going to be cleared by a certain time. Because if it starts snowing...
Yeah, so if you tell me my driveway will be clear by 4 while the snow starts coming at 3...
And I'm on the end of your route...
Yeah, it's not going
to happen.
I get what you're trying to say.
But every company does it. But they also had... they will come back after the county plows had come through. They'll come back and clear the end of your driveway if it was after. They'll clear out around the mailbox. So, man, look, like all of my recent problems would be solved. Yeah. I wouldn't have...
Wouldn't have an angry mail lady.
Wouldn't have my moody mail lady. I wouldn't have...
Moody. Again, you described her as being nothing but kind when you've interacted with her, and she's now transgressed to the moody mail lady.
Moody passive-aggressive mail lady.
Gotcha.
I probably wouldn't have had the incident with the government conspiracy with the Jeep.
Oh, boy, the big cover-up.
Everything would have come up roses. So, since I'm personal friends with all of the people on that Watchdog page.
Right, well, we're all a community.
Yeah, I said thank you. Thank you for your leadership and your guidance. Yeah. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to call up this company whose name I really, really want to say.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. It sounds like we'll get to it, but I don't think it would matter anymore.
Yeah. So I called them up. They gave me a quote. I said, sign me up. They sent me the contract. I paid them, sent them the contract back, and everything was good. The first time it snowed, their guarantee was that our driveway would be clear by 7 a.m. So it started snowing around probably 5:30 in the morning or so. And so it was 7 o'clock that night, and we still hadn't been plowed out yet. But I was kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt because, like I said earlier, if it starts snowing an hour before their guaranteed clear time, I get it. It's not going to be done in time. But I called them anyway. I said, hey, I just wanted to make sure that I'm good. I'm on the route. And the woman said, yep, the person is in your area right now.
Hey, on the way.
They're on their way. She was right. An hour later, I looked outside. Our driveway was being cleared. I was like, cool. All right, I'm happy with this. Well, that is until they pushed the snow and dug up part of my front lawn. That kind of pissed me off. But the guy was very nice. He got out of his vehicle. He said, I'm going to put a note on the account, and in the spring, somebody will come out, because they're also a landscaping company. He said somebody will come out, and they'll either seed or put down sod and fix it.
Wow.
Okay, that's fine. Which, again, most companies will do. Our plow driver...
That's a common...
Our plow driver last year, he had... Because he was pushing the snow up on the front lawn, and his plow was a little too low, and it dug up a spot probably a foot wide, like a 1 foot square spot. He came out in the spring, cleaned it up, put down seed. Everything was good.
Nope.
What was that?
Apparently my phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's normal.
Oh, good. It just rebooted for no reason. Yep. So, fast forward a couple of weeks, it snows again.
So you got plowed once?
Once, maybe twice.
Okay.
Might have been a second
Good
time.
sign that you didn't know if the second time actually happened.
Yeah. So it's snowing again, and they got in this habit of sending out emails, like email blasts to all of the clients on their route to give updates. I don't want an update. I just want you to come out and plow the driveway.
This isn't a process. It snows, you remove snow. There shouldn't be updates in the middle of that.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't want to think about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to like be refreshing my email every day thinking like, I wonder how the snowplow company's doing.
Yeah, you want to pull in it when you get home from work every day.
Yeah.
Not have Snow Mountain on the end or in your driveway. Not have to think about it.
Yeah. So their excuses were very strange. They were always the first time it was the day after the first snowfall. They sent out an email. We apologize for our terrible performance. We had a truck breakdown, and one of our drivers had a death in the family. So it's like, okay. I started to reply to say like, it's cool. Just that's not really our. I
get it, but
I want to say not my problem, but I also want to be a little bit more sensitive to the situation.
Well, I mean, I work for a large company that if the CEO's wife's whatever passes away or has an illness, that's very sad. But that's not going to stop this business from going on.
Exactly.
Like, I understand if you want to say, hey, we're a family-run thing. I fully understand that. But the fact remains is that you're a business first,
sure,
because you're accepting money from people to be a business.
You're a business who has accepted $300 from me, and I'm assuming I'm not the only customer.
Look like 100 others, maybe.
So you have a lot of money. You have a lot of people's money and a signed contract saying that you're going to deliver these services.
Yeah.
Well, it was from there. It was just one email after the other. well, we had 2 trucks break down and somebody called out of work today. I don't care.
I'm sorry.
It sucks. I bet that's a terrible situation that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line, you still have all of my money and you haven't provided the service.
Yeah.
Like, imagine walking into the grocery store. You and Katie go into the grocery store to do like a month's worth of shopping. You leave. You each have a full cart. Your bill is $300. You pay for it, and then as you're walking out the door, somebody walks up and takes both of your carts and says, sorry, you can't take them.
Yeah.
But you got to go. We're not giving you your money back.
Sorry, family-run business.
Yeah, sorry, the death in the family. We're a little short on cash this week.
Yeah.
It's not really going to make you feel any better.
No,
not at all. So a lot of people on the Watchdog page started posting about this. So it's like thread after thread after thread of posting about this terrible company. And then I noticed when a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that the local TV station, they sent their like the crime solvers team.
Yeah, the local.
They're called the Watchdogs.
Are they? I thought they were the problem solvers or something less inventive.
Yes, the problem solvers.
But so the Watchdog sounds a lot more fun than the problem solvers. Like, you're not kids in a math.
I think the other station is the Watchdogs.
It might be.
Yeah.
But you sound like a bunch of kids in a math troupe in elementary. We're the problem solvers.
Like your uniforms just have equations on them. Right? So they sent the problem solvers out there to do a report. Same thing. This company is just excuse after excuse after excuse. Go, well, we are so humiliated at the service that we provided. This is a first year company, and so in my mind, they saw the amount of cash that they could get from people right off the bat.
Absolutely.
So of course you got dollar signs in your head like, whoa, we're gonna make a ton of money this year, and then things just went to hell for them, which again I sympathize with. That must suck if something that you worked so hard to start, put in a ton of money to buy plows and hire people and all of that, but then it went to hell. So that sucks.
But again, it seems crass, not your problem, right? I mean, it's terribly depressing, but in our local paper, there's 85 obituaries a day. Mm-hmm. It's sad, but I'm not going to sit there and mourn 85 people that I don't know.
At this point, after they hadn't showed up for probably the 3rd or 4th week, Annette and I are on our honeymoon. Her mom is staying here at the house for a couple of days. And her mom just had minor surgery. Yeah. She has a bad shoulder. There's 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. That is not the person that I want outside shoveling the driveway. Well, at some point, she had to leave. Like, we were coming home that day. There was still 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. Thank God that a friend of mine happened to drive by. His work truck has a plow on it. So he'll take the work truck and, like, plow his driveway and friends and family and stuff. Yeah. Well, because he's one of the nicest people in the world, he knew we were getting back from our honeymoon that day. So he was like, maybe I'll swing by there because I'd hate for them to come home to a driveway full of snow. Yeah. Now, he doesn't know. He had no idea of this whole situation where we had this terrible plow company. So he shows up, plows our driveway, which was like the greatest thing that could have possibly happened. So I get in touch with the plow company, or all throughout, like there were probably 2 or 3 news stories, and they kept saying, we're so sorry. We're so embarrassed. This is terrible. Our customers deserve better. But at no point during the story did they ever say anything about refunds or anything like that.
Which is what the biggest issue, because at that point, if you're a month in, you've already done it yourself or had to have somebody else do it. At that point, cut bait, get your money back for the service that wasn't rendered, and move on.
And if from the first moment that there was an inkling of a problem, if they had said, hey, I'm sorry, we're offering refunds. If you want a refund, we understand. Take it now. I would have said, yep, no problem. Give me my money back. Keep the, $8 or so.
For the one plow.
For the one time that you came out. That's fine. And I would have been pissed, but at least I would have appreciated their honesty. Well, at some point they sent out an email that some customers got, some customers didn't, explaining everything again, saying how sorry they were.
Death in the family,
refunds,
unexpected no call. And
refunds are going to be sent out.
Yeah.
Whoa, refunds are going to be sent out. Great. So a week went by. I hadn't gotten the letter, hadn't gotten a refund. I sent them an email. I said, at this point, I just want my money back. I don't want to argue with you about he said, she said, about I don't care about the excuses. I want my money back for the services that I paid for that you are not providing.
And at this point, at least according to the Watchdog page, this place has been annihilated via the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because that's what it's there for, is for customer complaints and issues when things like this arise. So they're in terms of their business quality and service, it's already annihilated. They need to cut bait and get out.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Hopefully they can salvage something. So I actually got a response. I think I'm one of the few people that actually got responses when I sent emails.
Nice.
So they said, it was just a one or two sentence email. It said, some refunds were processed last week. More will be processed this week. Well, that was 2.5 weeks ago at this point. I still haven't gotten the letter, still haven't gotten the refund. Well, the other day, 3 days ago, they sent out this massive manifesto basically saying, due to the extreme number of cancellations and limited resources currently available to us, blah, blah, blah company will be functioning at a very restricted level. In order to determine the appropriate handling of this situation and the company's future, we have begun to seek legal guidance as the situation has become too complicated for us to handle.
So the first half of that reads to me as we got all of this money and we couldn't wait to spend it. Because when you say, quote, limited resources, that means the money you got in is now gone.
It's definitely gone. And the fact that they're saying legal guidance shows that I am not getting a dime back.
Right. My gut would tell me bankruptcy court, which means you would be one of the creditors, which would be in line with, I don't know. So maybe in 3 years, you'll see your check.
Well, we decided the other day to file a dispute with the credit card company.
Over the
called the credit card company. They determined that of the $315 that we paid, $2.15 of it is legitimate payment to the credit card company. So we are requesting the balance. So it's like $312,
something like that.
So who knows?
How does that work now? Does that credit card company now have to go to them as a business and say, you need to give them the money back?
I guess so. I don't really know how that whole process works. I've never had to do it before. But hopefully we will eventually get our money back. And but the thing that really pissed me off was that this company is now crying about how they've been slandered in the media. And that stories have been blown out of proportion. If it's been blown out of proportion, prove to me that you provided the service
to anybody.
For me, for anyone that you said that you would provide.
Yeah. Now, when you say manifesto, you are not kidding. It is.
Do you have it?
I think somebody had posted it in the comments. Maybe not, but no, it was. Because I read it somewhere. It was, I don't know, 3 pages long with about, and literally that's all it is a list. It's like, I'm not a Seinfeld guy, but what is it? The airing of grievances?
Yeah.
This is a list of everything that gone wrong. Rear plow issue, fuel line leak, transmission,
They listed all the personnel issues, and then they listed, I know that one of their trucks had a fuel line leak. Oh, a plow solenoid went bad. Plow won't operate without working solenoid. Well, you know something? That's what businesses deal with.
Yeah.
I'm sure UPS would love it if their trucks never broke down, but when they do, they put all the packages on another truck and they send them out. If you don't have the resources to handle the amount of customers that you've signed up for, maybe scale back the operation a bit.
Right.
Especially if this is your first year.
Maybe don't take on hundreds.
If it's your first year doing plowing, maybe say, instead of 100 customers, maybe we'll take 30 customers this year.
Yeah.
And we may not make a ton of money. Hell, we may break even this year.
But we'll see how it goes.
But we'll see how it goes, and it'll be good for next year. That's why I said, to me, it seems like they saw a bunch of dollar signs. They took on a lot more than they can handle. And if they're thinking that they're going to get rich off of plowing snow, they're idiots. Every single person I know, everyone who's ever plowed snow, talks about how it's long hours, it's not good money, but you use your snow plowing to build your business for landscaping, for installing pools, for doing concrete, whatever it is, because a lot of those companies, that's their side business.
It's literally the way for you to stay employed through the winter months here in this area. So, but it's funny because I think about all those excuses and that. And now you were, when you started moving up to the east side, you were a landlord for what, 3 years?
2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm. Now you were accepting money to pay that mortgage every month, but if something went wrong, who was responsible for that?
I was.
So even if like the air conditioner broke, who's buying a new one?
I'm buying a new air conditioner. I put a new roof on that house. I put I had a foundation company come in and install new walls, like new foundation walls in the basement.
So now you understand that. Yeah. This business has no idea about it and acts like, this is the media's fault. If they just let us do our job, which they hadn't done.
If the media hadn't gotten involved, you would have just disappeared.
That's amazing to me. And so it's funny because I received, I think the reason they got so many customers, they sent something out with either in the mail or in the newspaper. Yeah. And I received one of their little pamphlets, and because I was looking to get one for my dad, a service, and we ended up doing it. But then I look after the fact, and I realize it's this place. Yeah. Because I came in here because the same lady we use for dog sitter. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she has the same.
She
company.
was the first person I had heard about it from when I went over there one day because she had snowplow service in the in years past. And she said, "Yeah, it was weird. They didn't come, and I'm looking where their address is because they haven't answered any call or email." I thought, "Oh boy, this is weird."
It's just a house. They don't, which is fine. I mean, that doesn't.
You run a business. You don't need an office for this type of thing. And so I remember I came into we were recording that Sunday. I came in, I go, "Oh man, you hear about Lisa and the snowplow thing?" And he said, "Yeah, because that's my snowplow service."
Yep. So here we are, roughly 2 months later. They've come out to our house once, maybe twice, to plow the snow.
Before Christmas, by the way.
Oh, yeah, much before Christmas. Yeah, they hadn't... they might have come out... That's the one I'm not sure about, is if they... I think there's a chance that they came out one other time.
Well, you wouldn't have known.
Right.
Because I don't think you were here, right?
No, it's funny you mentioned that. I was with my wife on the beach at Sandals, Jamaica.
In December.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a juxtaposition.
Huh, so it wasn't snowing there.
No, it does not snow.
Because at Sandals, Jamaica.
You pay for no snow.
You pay for no snow. What an advertising service.
I don't want this to be just a big bitch fest, but yeah.
It's funny. I mean, because we talked about your customer service debacles before. Add this one to the laundry list.
Oh my God, add it to the laundry list. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I feel like it's... just one thing after the other. Can't I just get a company to come out and like I want to pay you to do something.
Yeah. So now
to do the service that you provide.
If I'm accurate, we're at one of the big box construction stores.
Yeah.
We're at both
of them, depending on the timeline you're talking about. We talking last 6 months, last year.
We're at a window company. Wasn't the window guy supposed to come out? And it was like never 2 days later, never came out. Oh boy, what were the other ones? I'm trying to remember.
One was the roofing company at my old house.
That's right.
The other was the HVAC company at my old house. There was another.
Maybe you ever think it's just you? Maybe it's like your.
I do.
Maybe like your face or the way you think like you said when you called the township and you left a very nice voicemail. Maybe you sang it like very nice, but they listen to it. They're like, "Hey, so like somebody,
like maybe my
maybe
my filter is broken."
Yeah, and maybe you actually sound like a pompous jerk.
I know.
And so they're like, "I'm not doing business with this a-hole. Why would I?"
I think that my expectations of people are just too high.
Maybe.
I really do. And it was funny because I got an email from, like, I got some Google notification the other day, and it said, your Google reviews have helped 300 people. Please leave more Google reviews. And I was like, oh, that's weird. So I clicked on it because you can list all the reviews that you've had. So a couple of the 8 or 10 Google reviews I've left, I would say 7 of them are like shining reviews, very positive. Mm-hmm. One was for a plumber that we had to hire last year. Gave him like 5 stars and said, hey, Jack came out to the house and he replaced this valve and everything was great. He was here and gone in less than 20 minutes. Couldn't recommend this company anymore. But then I found the one of the roofing company from a couple years ago that put a roof on my house. Dude, I was right back there. I was right back in the moment.
Just as angry?
Just as angry. Reading over the details of what they promised, what was actually provided. Like they had said, yeah, it's going to be a 1-day job, maybe a couple hours into the second day. And I'm reading through my review, and I said, on day 12, the job was finally completed.
That's amazing.
Oh, God.
Now, that was on your first house?
That was my first house, yeah.
12 days?
12 days. To do a roof.
What was the square footage on that house? Do you remember?
It was 1,100 square feet. Little house.
12 days. Now, how long, if you and I, now me,
yeah,
I've never roofed a thing, but I get the principle, right? Mm-hmm. You're shingling.
Slap some shingles down.
Yep. In how many days with zero experience do you think you and I could have done it? And let's even say doing it after we got out of work.
After work, probably 3 days.
3 days. So you're maybe 12, 15 hours.
Yeah.
For two of us.
Yeah, they're going to be long days.
Right. So you would get there at 3, 4 o'clock, work till 9, 10 o'clock. You think 3 evenings, and this company took 12 business days.
Now, the roof itself was, for the most part, was completed on the first day.
Yeah.
Which is basically what they promised. 1 day, maybe a couple hours into the next. It was all of the trim pieces, like various pieces of flashing, gutters, the dumpster because they bring a dumpster out so they can throw all the old crap into the dumpster, haul it away. They said that'll be gone the first day because everything will be torn off at that point. The dumpster sat in front of my house for 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might be joining you. We are looking at we need some new appliances, and we went to one of the big. That's where we were yesterday when you had texted about going to a big renovation convention.
The home show.
The home show. We were actually out looking at appliances because we need to do that.
You're going black stainless now? You've seen the light?
No, we've already gone regular stainless on the fridge, so it looks stupid if we upgrade the other 3.
First mistake was going regular stainless on the fridge, personally.
I mean, the regular stainless looks really nice. It's fine.
Yeah, it does. But try cleaning it yet?
Oh, yeah. No issue. Spotless.
Were you as surprised, like when my last house, I bought, when I first moved in there, I didn't have any appliances, so I wanted to buy a stainless fridge because I was like, looks nice, looks great. And then I found out that not all stainless fridges, like, because stainless steel, I guess, isn't magnetic or like you have to buy a certain brand because it has to, like, not all stainless fridges are magnetic.
It's very weird. So the sides sometimes will work, but the front, like it's crazy.
And then when I went to clean it for the first time, I'm like, I don't know, just take a sponge and wipe it down, and you wipe it down and nothing changes.
No, it's the same.
Yeah, so you have to buy that special stainless steel cleaner that smells like turpentine.
It's so weird and now they even, like, the new stainless steel is now fingerprint proof.
Yeah.
So it's smudge proof stainless steel. So, maybe I might be joining in the next month or so. The issues with the big box. Yeah.
So did you order something?
No. No, we're waiting to see the taxes and everything. And I just was curious on, I'm so out of the realm on how much those things cost. So just to kind of go there and see the look of things. And I mean, our appliances are from, I don't know, the 1970s.
Oh, nice.
So it's time to upgrade. So,
well, you saw ours, like the ones that we moved in here. God.
By the way, I thought about that the other day. When are we going to get that powder coating oven up and running? We got to powder coat these microphone arms.
It's funny you say that.
So now this is a stove. Now, when you moved into this house, you and Annette, what you call your forever home, you guys upgraded all of your appliances?
We haven't upgraded the fridge yet.
Okay, so the stove, the dishwasher, the microwave, we talked about that. But the stove you talked about was an old one, and you have a gas hookup, right, out in your garage.
No, we have an electric hookup.
Oh, that's right. It's an electric. I got you.
But it's like the big round plug, like the 220 plug.
Yeah. So your idea is to put that in the garage where it is.
Yeah.
And hook it up and powder coat things like they do on Orange County choppers. But we're going to do it with such cool items as our microphone arms.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
And some car pieces for our buddy Cy Nolan Ryan.
Hey, so you're going to be. So we're powder coating. This is happening.
This business. We are open for business.
So we need to pick out our color, and we're powder coating these microphone arms.
Yeah,
these should probably be tested before car parts, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because
what color do you want? What color?
Well, I think we talked about doing something with the blue because we have a blue light from the mic.
I got a bunch of colors.
Oh, I think a nice blue to go with the blue light that emanates from the microphone would be great.
Boy, we have to completely take these apart. It's a lot of little pieces. Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, worst case scenario is we get what we've wanted for a while anyway, which is new microphone arms.
I know. Yeah, these things, those. Oh gosh!
Did you hear that? Was like a 2-timer. It started from your stomach, your innards, worked its way up to your throat, came out twice.
That was bad. I didn't
it was
appreciate
it was a race.
Yeah. The microphone arms that we want are still like $450 a piece.
It's clearance time, man. They're coming down any day now.
Are they?
Sure.
All right. Well, let's place an order for them. Are we finally going to get to? Oh wait, this would
be the new one. No, I was just going to ask. Do you want to get to? Because you have one thing that I'm very curious about that you wrote down about a new
online
thing you
obsession.
enjoy doing, or do we want to make a phone call to John?
Well, I don't want to talk to John.
All right.
Why don't we get to your Vegas trip? And we'll save my new online obsession.
Okay. And John, so sorry to.
We might get to it. We might get to John, depending on how long your story is.
Yeah, and it's not even really a story. It's it's finally time, Steve, for the return trip for me to Las Vegas.
Now, if you remember, with your last Vegas trip, you told that tale about. Oh wait, no, you never did.
I never did. So that was. It's been 15 months. No, more than that, because we went in August of 2016.
Yeah.
So, it's been 17 months since we went. And I think the only person who cared was a listener named Tyler. So, Tyler, our apologies to you. 17 months. I meant to tell this story about my interaction with a dealer at a casino in Las Vegas.
I haven't even heard this story yet.
Yeah. I don't even know if I remember. I don't even know if I want to get to it. So
it's going to be like, he dealt me a 7.
Yeah, right? Can you believe it? I won.
7.
But no, so I'm returning. So now this will be my 4th trip to Vegas, but this is probably the one, and I'm not saying this to sound mean because it's not meant to be, but it's probably the one I'm most looking forward to. Mm-hmm. So I went once when I was barely 21 with one friend. I went once the following year with a different friend. So the one I went when I was just 21, didn't really know what I was getting into.
Right.
And it's a lot of, it's overwhelming. If you've ever been to Las Vegas, or if you haven't, obviously you've seen pictures.
This thing's about to fall again. But
is it going to go?
I think so.
It's an overwhelming view. Yeah. The buildings are it's incredible. And so I didn't really know what I was getting into. So I went the following year with a different friend, and that was fine. Well, then I didn't go for probably 7 years. Mm-hmm. So we went in 2016. But when we went, I brought my wife, and the friend I went with brought his wife, which was fine. That's how we wanted to go.
Right.
But for my Vegas vacation, it was, for me being my 3rd time there, was a little bit different because I already know the sights and the sounds and the everything about the strip there, whereas they haven't been, and they want to go see, hey, let's go see this, or let's go do this. Let's try
this.
this.
To the Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign.
Yeah, and they also don't enjoy the Vegas the way I do, which is me. I want to sit down at a table, be drunk within 2 hours, and sit there for 10 hours and not even realize how long I've been there.
Yeah,
like that. That's my goal.
Yeah,
but that's kind of hard to do when if the people aren't as into gambling as you.
Or they want to go to a show. They want to see Cirque du Soleil.
Right, or the Britney Spears show, or whatever's going on.
I heard she just re-signed. She's
coming back.
Back for like 2 years.
Maybe I'll have to go take a look.
Yeah, but I think she's at a different casino, though.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think she's
rivalries.
Where Gaga... Did Lady Gaga have a show?
I thought she was starting there now, too.
Yeah, so maybe she was taking over for some...
That's weird, right? The money's got to be insane for those artists.
It's got to be great.
For them to justify doing that. They probably do
shows, 4 nights a week?
Yeah.
I'm assuming live in the hotel.
Oh, they probably have the penthouse suite and everything. And where, they get unlimited whatever all day, every day at this casino.
You think Britney's down at the buffet in the morning?
You think she's having some sausage, some bacon, and an omelet at the local Planet Hollywood buffet?
At the omelet station, that there's a chef there. Like, we're gonna get you.
Yeah, let me make it in front of you.
Yeah.
Boy.
Probably not.
Probably not. Might send a guy down, like, go get this, and from the buffet, bring it back up to the corner suite on the 35th floor type of thing. So, and again, all of these trips I've really enjoyed. But now I'm going back, and so this will be my 4th time, and I'm going with 2 friends who I've been with both multiple times now to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the last hurrah before one of them, his wife is having a child in a month. I was going
to say, it's not like a bachelor party, birthday.
Nope. We talked about trying to go with just friends one more time at least before, we're 60 and can actually make it happen again.
Right.
So it's finally happening to the point where this week, me and 2 friends are going to be in Las Vegas for the first time in years, where it's just going to be us. And here's the problem. Now, I told you I've been battling this illness for like 20 days, and I told you
you got to go to the doctor. Get one of those like
Z-Packs. I've got an inhaler.
Get the Z-Pack thing where it's like 10 days worth of.
But isn't that like were you supposed to take that like first sight of a illness?
Yeah, but I think that it would. I would assume it would still help
because it started off different. When I was sick, it was like a flu-like. I talked about it, chills and aches and lightheaded and didn't want to eat. It wasn't a stomach issue, and now it's mostly just coughing. So,
yeah.
But I haven't been. I talked about my vague description of how I want to enjoy Vegas, which is a lot of drinking and a lot of gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't drank in probably weeks.
Oh, you're going to be drunk after like one drink.
So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be that guy you see on whatever sitcom or TV show, Cops, I guess is the show I'm thinking of.
I was going to say TMZ security footage.
Where I'm like throwing chips at the wall after having 2 beers and like something happened and I'm mad.
Or tipping people like thinking you're a high roller. Like, here you go.
Yeah, not even like understanding.
$1.
Thanks a lot, Toots. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
And so I am in for a rude awakening come Thursday afternoon when I decide to start. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have 8 drinks this afternoon.
So you're going to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
A question for you.
Yeah.
Is Vegas all inclusive?
Oh boy.
Is it on a? There's a beach, right?
Yeah. It's right near the ocean. It's very wet
lots
in
of
Las
sand.
Vegas. Lots of sand. That's very true. Yeah. No, it's weird. It's not all inclusive, but
it's on the northern coast of Jamaica, though, right?
It's on the southwestern coast of Nevada. You know that one,
right? Yeah, the Great Nevada Coast.
Yeah, the Nevada Coast. I mean, people talk about it. The scenery.
Now at Las Vegas, Nevada, is there a word for inventory?
No, I don't think there is.
Oh, okay.
So there. Where else? Where is there a word?
Well, it's Sandals, Jamaica. There is no word for inventory.
Oh,
as the great Michael Scott taught us.
Yeah. There's,
boy.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
I guess if you want to have a hobo vacation.
Yeah, it's just doing the best we can with the best we can afford. I guess it's. It won't be. If I feel like if I actually went to Sandals, Jamaica.
Let me ask you one question before you get to that.
Sure.
When you check into your hotel room, does the bellhop sing you a love song?
Oh God, that's right. That happened.
Still to this, one of the most awkward.
That's got to be.
Well, we're just standing there like, what do we dance?
Well, by awkward you mean like you couldn't get them out of the room quick enough to tear each other's clothes off, right? From all the romance?
Right, and by tear each other's clothes off, you mean me sitting down and looking up garage door openers.
So this nice bellhop sings you a love song, and in his mind, he's going to close that door, and he's probably going to hear a bra fly across the room, you like kicking your boxers off, out the balcony. That's in his mind.
Right.
In actuality, he closes the door. You go, huh? So you want one button on the garage door opener, or two?
What do you think those Ryobis are going for these days?
Oh man.
Yeah.
So that's happening this week. I have told you, I don't even know if I'll make it to Vegas. Okay, because I am flying first class, Steve.
What?
First class to and fro Las Vegas.
Wow.
So
you're really...
I will be looking down on the people as they walk by me back into steerage, as Jimmy Pardo calls it.
Yep.
All the flock of losers be sitting in 28B.
You know what you should do when people get on the plane? Just actually point at them and laugh. Loser!
Well, I'm going to make a real scene. If I don't have a drink before all the poor people start boarding,
that's a good...
in my hand, I'm not going to be thrilled.
So this is voluntarily you paid for this? Oh wait, no, that's right.
This was a gift.
Yeah.
So my friend,
I do remember you telling me.
My friend had
now.
some credits for flying, and he said, "Hey, for Christmas, I'd like to get your flight." I said, "Okay, sure." So we looked at flight times and picked out flights, and I saw the cost. So when he told me, like, "Yeah, I only had to pay like $200 some out of pocket," I thought, well, that's weird. The flight costs we looked at were like within the range of the credits he told me that they had. And no, we fly first class now.
So are you flying with him, or are you meeting him there?
No, I'm flying with him. Okay. My friend got home yesterday.
Gotcha.
We fly out Thursday morning, first class, to Chicago, then to Las Vegas, then Vegas to Chicago, and then back here.
So are you first class on both flights?
Oh, come on. Yeah, of course. Of course, Steve. And now the flight from where we are to Chicago.
You get Wi-Fi on that?
I wonder how that works.
Because if you do, you should Periscope.
Oh, I'll Periscope my rich experience. Maybe open the curtain, the camera over my head, and just laugh at all the poor people. Maybe dump a drink out on the floor.
You're going to wear a suit, right?
I feel like I should, right?
Yeah. Because
it's kind of business class. You're supposed to look the part if I get on with my
like flip-flops.
Yeah.
And like a I'm going to Las Vegas t-shirt on.
I went to Las Vegas and all I got was this shirt on.
How about you get a custom-made shirt that says I'm better than you, so when people get on the flight, they see that.
Yeah, I just really want to rub it in, because this is almost 100% assuredly the only time I will ever fly anywhere first class, ever. And I feel like I need to let everybody else on these flights know.
Yeah. You got to let them know what they're dealing with.
That they are now poorer than me.
Yeah.
Because they're sitting in the back.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in first class, I think, one time, and it was, I don't know how it happened.
Did you get bumped type of thing?
Must have been, because I definitely, like, it was a trip for work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you told me that.
It was one of those things, we were sitting at the gate, and they made the announcement to the following passengers come up to the desk. Went up to the desk and they said, "Oh, okay, here's your new boarding pass." And they printed it off, and I looked at it, and my old boarding pass was like row 14C,
right?
And my new one was 1A. I'm like, well, that sounds like the front of the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they must. Surely this is one of those funny reverse planes. Right. Where 1A
is in the back,
is
the toilet.
Yeah, it's you sitting, like you have to open the lavatory door for anybody coming and going.
Right.
That's 1A in that plane.
Reverse. Yeah, opposite planes.
Yeah. Oh. Because, I think the only airline that does it weird now is Southwest, where they don't do a seat assignment, they do boarding priority. Yeah. Well, that's the next airline gimmick. We're going to flip it. Yeah. So one sounds like it's good, but it's actually the worst seat in the airplane.
Yeah. Yep.
That's good.
Well, that's fun, man. I'm excited for you. That'll be a fun trip.
Anything I need to put a bet down for you? You want to bet some ponies? You want to bet on some sports?
I'll give you $20.
You want to bet on? You want me to? I can put 20 on red or black, or I can put.
Yeah. Although then I'd only win So I'd have
could
40.
win. Yeah, you'd have 40.
Okay.
Or I could put it on if your Philadelphia Eagles are still in.
Ooh, yes. Wait, when do you leave?
This Thursday.
Yeah, well, they'll still.
They will be in. So they play the NFC Championship next week, Sunday. Mm-hmm. If you want to put some money down your Eagles, I don't know what the going odds are.
Yeah, I kind of do.
I'll be spending some time at the sports book, as I always do.
Nice.
Because I always justify it this way. If I win a modest sum at the sports book on a long-term bet, so like if I go there, I'm going there in January, and if I go and bet on like the baseball season on a World Series long shot, like let's say a 30-1 long shot.
Now, because at this point, like your bet is going to be worth more in the long run, right? So if you put down $40 now, as opposed to $40 on opening day or $40 at the All-Star break,
yeah, odds are always fluctuating. So if I put $20 or $40 down on, let's say, like a medium long shot now, a team that's going 30-1 now, when they start the season pretty good, those odds move down to 10-1. Your money's not as good anymore.
Yeah.
So if I get in early money, I can justify my return trip back to Las Vegas because, hey, I just won like $300. I got to go back to collect it.
Go collect
so
it.
we might as well make a trip out of it.
Okay.
So that's my
so you
long
can't
game.
Collect that? You have to be there.
I think you have to be there. Actually, you know what? I don't know that. I shouldn't say that for sure. Huh. That's my only justification for wanting to do it.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'll go back. I'll feel like I'll go back to collect like $50 worth of winnings.
Right. Well, I spent $350 to get out here. Stayed for 2 days in a hotel. It cost me $200.
Yeah.
I collected $50.
Hey, and savvy businessman.
Yeah, and then I lost $40 at the slots in the airport.
Yeah.
So that happening
that's
next
a good
week.
Investment. Very good investment.
Yeah, it's sound.
Speaking of investments, I had to go to I have like a twice a year meet with like the 401k, the accountant guy that he used to like do all the taxes and everything. Ron, Ron.
Absolutely.
So Ron has been a big help, like, because now that we're married, we're combining accounts and everything like that, and figuring out like, okay, well, we want to start saving or we want to make sure that our retirement savings are in order, because like my biggest fear is that I'm never going to be able to retire.
So what's that goal date?
65, I guess.
65?
Yeah.
Because the retirement, the 401k type of thing we have at our work now is like they invest in funds for you, and they have like, they're based on your target year for retirement. So I didn't know if you had one of those or if you're just saying 65 in general.
Yeah, just 65 in general. So I met with him, and it's basically just a State of the Union where he sits there and says, okay, here's what you invested this past year. Here's what and he makes recommendations like, oh, this would be a good idea, or maybe try this. And he's very helpful, and he's conservative when it comes to saving. So I was always curious because there's been so much in the news about Bitcoin in the last couple of months.
Oh, yeah.
I said to him, I was like, is Bitcoin like a serious thing? Somebody in your position, like you and all of your
financial planner,
other financial people, do you look at Bitcoin as a serious thing? And he said, oh yeah, I have some Bitcoin, which blew my mind that he had invested in Bitcoin. And he said, yeah, a couple years ago I invested $100 and it's worth $7,000 now.
No way.
Which, I mean, it's not like it's not retirement money. But
I don't know if you make 700 times your investment with anything.
Sure, in a couple of years, yeah, definitely. But I was like, because I kind of want to do it, and he's like, oh yeah, I have an account on Coinbase. I think is like the main cryptocurrency trading.
So you make an account on a website.
Make an account, and then
obviously this isn't traded.
It would basically be like, yeah, if you wanted to trade on the New York Stock Exchange, or like you have your account. Like if you set up an account with Charles Schwab or whoever,
right.
Then you can, and then you just log in and like if you're a day trader, you can log in and be like, oh yeah, I want to buy some of this, get some, sell some of this. Well, this Coinbase apparently is like the main merchant for doing that. So he's like, yeah, I have a little bit of Bitcoin, a little Litecoin, a little Ethereum.
What?
What the hell?
How did we all miss the boat on this?
But he's like, yeah, you have to look at it as gambling money. It's
right,
money,
because it could go belly up tomorrow.
Money you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do it.
You're going to throw now. Do we need to do now? How much are you thinking? You talking like big money you putting into it?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm thinking maybe, like he said, $100. I'm thinking maybe $50.
Maybe we should make a podcast cryptocurrency account. Isn't it crazy? Like, wasn't it like 19,000 one day, and then the next day it was down to 12,000? Mm-hmm. That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
That it can fluctuate that much.
I wonder what it is right now. Current.
Because obviously, it's not traded on like the New York Stock Exchange.
No.
So I don't quite understand what causes the fluctuations.
Well, all I know right now, as we sit here, one Bitcoin equals $13,328.10 US dollars, of course. Now,
so you would buy 0.0002 of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted to buy, say, $50 in Bitcoin, yeah, it's 0.00 Bitcoins. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even, like, it won't even calculate it.
Wow.
Let's see. Yeah, so if I spent $100, I would have 0.01 Bitcoin.
So you're looking at getting in literally 6 years too late to the cryptocurrency trend in hopes that it now takes off again and goes up to 20,000.
Exactly. I mean, if it does, say it gets up to 50,000, then I have a decent little return on my investment.
Right.
Then again, the next day it could all be gone. But I told myself, and I think I talked about this on the radio show the other day. By the way, apologies if things get talked about on this podcast and then on the radio show. It may seem like that, like in this case, this podcast is being recorded on a Sunday. It's not released until Tuesday.
Right.
So there's a very good chance that on Monday's show tomorrow, some of this could be talked about. Apologies. I hope everyone understands that. I think everyone does.
Hopefully, yeah.
But
I haven't seen any complaints about it.
No. But I hate whenever there's duplicate stuff.
Right.
But so yeah, if I read an article later last year that said if you had spent $49 on Bitcoin in 2008, it would be worth $250 million now. So I decided that
if you got out,
yeah, exactly. If you had sold it like that day. So I decided that every new cryptocurrency I hear about, I'm just going to spend $30 and buy it and put it in an account, and then I will retire because I'll be super rich in like 10 years.
Now,
when I have like $50 billion worth of Dogecoin or whatever.
So you said it's at 13,000 whatever.
$13,328.10.
Where do you think that would rank it in terms of highest stock price right now? The New York Stock Exchange.
Boy, I don't know, because I know that for a while Apple was like the most valuably traded company, or Google or something like that, and I thought that they were around like somewhere close to that, like $15,000 to $20,000. So it's got to be pretty high, right? Say top 10
currently, or at least according to this link, and I don't know if the link's fully current. Bitcoin would rank as the second most expensive stock, only behind Warren Buffett's financial Berkshire Hathaway, which is $115,000, $750 per share.
$115,000. So it's second, but not even close
by 8 times.
Yeah.
Second would be Seaboard, or I'm sorry, third behind Bitcoin would be whatever is Seaboard at $2,660.
Wow. Okay, so I was way off.
And then something called NVR, NVR, which is going at $703. Now, granted, this might be a little older because this shows Google at $618.
Oh, wow. See, I thought that companies like Google and Apple were in like the couple of thousands or tens of thousands of dollars.
They might be. Yeah, that is out of date because in 2017, Berkshire Hathaway is up to $247,000 a share. Seaboard, $4,010. NVR, which is $2,162. Priceline Group.
Priceline
Group. So they must own So they own. Subsidiaries Booking, Kayak, Priceline. They own all of them.
Do they really?
Apparently, yeah. 1,903.
Okay, so I'm looking at the current value of... Oh, man, I was so far off. Apple stock, $177.09.
So Alphabet, which is how much was
Google,
it? I'm sorry,
$177.09.
Okay, so yeah, Alphabet, which is Google, is up to $958.
What?
Yeah. So yeah,
Jeez.
Bitcoin. But I wonder what if you put Bitcoin as a legit tradable asset. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling it would dive so fast until it balanced out in
no
the
hundreds.
hundreds.
Nobody knows what it is, where it comes from.
Yeah, and it's unregulated, which scares people. Mm-hmm. So it's probably best traded in the bowels of the internet the way it is currently.
And that's why it's like I said earlier, it's just gambling money. It's money that you got to be perfectly willing to lose. Yeah. So please do not take any stock or financial advice from your friends here at the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah, apparently not. AutoZone.
Let me introduce you to the newest cryptocurrency, Steve Coin.
Hey!
Yeah, would you like to be the first investor?
I would. I would like to buy all of it.
Okay.
That's now Kyle Coin. No.
Sold.
Unexpected. AutoZone. $709 a share.
That is not that surprising because I get they advertise very heavily, and they must make a ton of money off of it because every month I get an email from some radio industry trade magazine, and AutoZone is constantly the highest advertising client in all of media.
See, I will never understand because so I see things like Facebook. What is Facebook trading? Isn't it like $40-some? Facebook's like an affordable stock. But now I see Chipotle.
Okay.
$471 a share.
Facebook currently is just ahead of Apple, $179.
Really? Okay, but still, a third of Chipotle. That is a Mexican burrito joint.
They make good burritos. I mean, they had some of that whole problem,
and
the whole problem with that, but it didn't affect me, so I was good.
That's great. I guess I'll just never understand. I'm probably better off with Bitcoin too because
Let's do it.
I don't understand the site. Let's do it. Let's get in on this.
All right.
Got the show diabetes account.
Yeah.
The show cigar account, which don't even get me started on that this week, Mike.
Yeah.
And now the show Bitcoin account, so we can retire and do this podcast at our own leisure.
Coinbase.com. Coinbase is the world's most popular way to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin.
Now should we start with one of the side coins? So because if you figure maybe Bitcoin's bubble would be the first to burst, right? Because it's the biggest. What is an Ethereum going to run us? Probably 11,000.
Current value of Ethereum.
And then we got to hit the fast five.
Oh yeah, we definitely do. Okay, current value of Ethereum is $1,290.61.
Maybe we go with the Ethereum, or do you want to start with the top?
I'm going all three. I'm going.
Whoa!
Doing
diversify that portfolio, Steve. That's a wise business decision.
$30 here, $40 there.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give myself $100 to spend. And it'll be maybe 33 of each one.
Yeah. All right.
So that way, 10 years from now, I'm going to have a book out. And it's going to be called How $100 Changed My Life. And it'll be written.
And then the subtitle's going to be, and made $200. Because you're going to see a $100 because you're going to be like, oh, I got to get out.
Oh, sell.
Were you the type of guy that when you would watch Deal or No Deal, you'd see the offer, it'd get $63,000, but there was only one briefcase above that.
Yeah. Sell.
You sell.
You gotta
right?
sell.
That was the most frustrating thing.
Don't be greedy.
No, that was the dumbest thing about that show was people seeing one case above the offer. Mm-hmm. One. And going oh no, that case is going to be a bajillion. The one I have. No, it's not. It's $5, and you're going to feel like a fool when they hand you a crisp $5 and laugh at you on the way out the door and enjoy their advertiser money.
Oh, man. All right. Well, now when we become millionaires, from Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum,
sure,
are we still doing the podcast?
Yeah, we're going to have those nice mic arms.
Oh yeah, we'll have golden microphones
You're
like Rush.
Darn right. We're going to tap on them every. Maybe we'll do it live from Sandals, Jamaica. Steve, you ever been there?
Yeah. Come to mention it.
I've heard nice things
about it. Yeah, I have been there on my honeymoon. Huh. It's quite a place.
Yeah, romantic, I hear.
Very romantic. Great time to search for deals on garage door openers.
Get your online grievances aired.
Yeah.
And any home purchases made.
Yep.
That's what Sandals is for.
Calling my plow company to leave them very mean messages.
I hope they send you a follow-up, like a feedback form. And you're in the comments, you're like, real nice place to get business done. And then it's in the next pamphlet of theirs.
Yeah, like it'll be like, the beaches are beautiful, or quote, the beaches are beautiful. Donald from wherever, Houston, Texas. And Steve from Michigan. Real nice place to handle some business.
Thanks, Sandals, for the calm environment to fire off emails.
Thanks for the Wi-Fi all across the resort. So yeah, okay. So by next week, we will both have Coinbase accounts, right? Right? Mm-hmm. You're not going to do it? You're not going to dance with the devil?
Maybe. I was talking about some of those issues at home that have caused sleep issues and sickness. Well, that's also a financial issue as well. Okay. That's putting a maybe put a strain on the Coinbase account setup this week.
You know what a good way to make money fast is?
Oh, you're right, Steve. If I get in on the ground floor, and now the ground floor is obviously the $13,000 floor. It's only going to go up.
Well, you don't have to buy one Bitcoin.
No,
you
but
can invest $5.
Right, but what I'm saying is that it's at some of its lowest in a while.
Now, I'm just going to say that when I'm a Bitcoin billionaire,
sure,
me and the Winklevoss twins, but you're only a Bitcoin millionaire, I don't think we can still be friends.
Well, yeah, you'll have 24 karat microphone, but you have to make sure mine's like 10 karat.
Garbage.
Oh, what's that? Just garbage you put in your microphone over there?
Oh, Ethereum just jumped over $1,300.
Yep. No, you want to jump into the Bitcoin world? I'll stick with Ethereum and Steve Coin.
Yeah, you're now the primary owner.
Yeah, I bought the rights within 1 minute of ownership. Yeah, 1 minute of creation.
All right. Well, it's good to know that we're both on our way to financial freedom.
I think we're going to make this work. I mean, again, there's nothing like jumping into a craze literally 5 to 7 years way too late.
Yeah. That's all right though. We're gonna win.
It's you don't want to buy the first model of a car,
no,
like a brand, because it's gonna have all the bugs.
Yeah.
Well, we wanted those first 6 years of Bitcoin to get all the bugs out,
right?
And by bugs out, I mean all of the profits,
all of the value. Yeah.
Yeah. We've literally sucked it dry.
Well, if this podcast ceases to exist really quickly, you'll know it's because we're moving to Sandals, Jamaica.
Yep. You'll get a monthly episode.
Can you live at a resort like that?
What are they going to do? Kick you out? You're paying.
No, I mean, like, if I just wanted to say, like, hey, just give me a flat rate. How much? Like, what do I owe you?
Would they give you, like, a weekly or a monthly?
To never leave.
Yeah. Say, I want this room. I'll pay you every month.
I'm gonna do what I want to it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to put up new big screen TVs.
Yeah, exactly.
But I still want, like, singing people coming to my door.
Yeah, I want the bellhop to serenade me.
Yeah.
And I want normal size appetizers.
Like, do you think you're talking in the millions?
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you calculated out like a per day fee for an all inclusive resort, room plus the all inclusive portion, which is what Sandals in Jamaica on the North Shore is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're easily in the probably 400 a day, 300 a day.
All right, so I just have to. I need to buy some Bitcoin now.
Yeah, you need to buy a Bitcoin.
One full Bitcoin.
Full Bitcoin.
$13,000.
Yep, and then hope it skyrockets to that.
Yeah, sure. I got that. No problem.
Yeah, you're good.
Give me 2.
Yeah, right. Just put on the credit card. What could go wrong?
All right. Well, stay tuned for Bitcoin updates.
Fast 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time for the Fast 5. I believe. I don't know.
Sure. Stormy Daniels.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, boy. You haven't been following the big news, Steve.
Stormy Daniels.
I'll say she is in a industry of pornography.
Oh, of course. Yes. Yeah. That is the porn star that supposedly was invited to a room where our now president was. What was the time frame on that? Are we talking
one? Oh no.
Oh, it was right before.
It was paid off
right before the
campaign?
It
happened. I want to say it was 2006.
Okay,
because supposedly Melania was nursing Baron, their son,
and the old Prez just said, "Hey, come on by. Got a real estate transaction.
Yeah,
for you."
We need to talk business.
Yeah. Okay.
This next one, hole.
Yeah. That's I don't think you can say that about other countries in the world. Just that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Not a good look.
Whether you think that is true or not,
that's better kept inside.
Yeah. Just push that one. Push that one down. Push down inside.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. The Golden Globes last week.
Yeah. The what was the pin that everyone was wearing was
Time's Up.
Time's Up. A little weird that somebody like James Franco was wearing the Time's Up pin.
Turns out, yeah.
But boy, kind of awkward.
Yeah.
What, 5 accusers have
come
forward
since then? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
David Letterman.
Oh yeah, he's got a new Netflix series, right?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but
so it's one. It's
an interview
just like
show.
One episode a month for like 8 months or 10 months or something.
Yeah.
His first guest, President Barack Obama. I'm interested in it because I didn't watch Letterman a lot. I remember my mom always watched Letterman.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I think he's a pretty likable guy, and it'll be interesting to see him doing long form issues interviews, whereas the fluff piece, like, tell me about the new movie.
Right.
So.
I haven't watched it yet, but yeah, I've heard great things. Heard it was very fun and very informative.
Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to watching that.
All right, and lastly, James Franco.
Probably. Well, there's a lot of things he probably shouldn't have done. One of them, the obvious ones being assaulting women. Sexual. Well, I don't want to say assaulting women. Sexual
harassment,
sexual assault.
So the main complaint was by, I believe it was his ex-girlfriend, was girlfriend at the time, where she said he forced her head into his lap in a car. The one thing that has given me a tiny bit of pause was, like, a follow-up on this one was a woman signed a contract to be in one of his movies years ago and agreed to do nudity in the movie, and then is now complaining about doing nudity in the movie. 2 movies on 2 separate. Yeah. It's just weird. Like,
sure.
Because
I don't want to get into the minutia of that or victim blame or anything like that. There, with all of these, obviously these are accusations. You don't.
Right.
Some of them, I would say the majority of them, probably 100% legitimate. But yeah, I mean, there. Unfortunately, when stuff like this happens, there are also people that just kind of look at look at it as a payday.
Yeah. And
not to say that that's what's happening, but
yeah, and it comes at a time too where James Franco's in the news. Obviously, won the Golden Globe for the Disaster Artist, won the Critics' Choice Award for the Disaster Artist, but wasn't there.
Yeah,
because he said he stayed home because he was. The rumor was distraught over these allegations.
Yeah.
So curious to see what happens with the Oscars. But
that is it's weird that
it's another snowballing.
It's weird that we are in this like the climate now where it's like an accusation is that's enough to ruin a career.
It's done. Absolutely.
And that's scary. It's scary that that's the climate that we're in, because if somebody's got a bone to pick with somebody, you throw out an accusation and their career could be over.
Right.
And that's not right either.
No, and it hasn't really come back to guys like Dustin Hoffman outside of his interaction with John Oliver.
Yeah.
But another one came out this week of the a couple nurses accusing Stan Lee.
Yeah, I saw
who's
that.
known as the essentially the godfather of the comic book industry.
Aziz Ansari.
I didn't see that one.
I saw that this morning.
It's weird because, like, I look at a lot of these guys and like James Franco's been known as a super artist and just like you look at him, kind of see that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it doesn't surprise me when I hear that anyone in a position of power took advantage of anyone beneath them. It doesn't surprise me. And it doesn't make it right.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, it's not. It's a shame that it's not as surprising as it should be.
David Letterman. We talked about the new show.
Yeah,
Netflix. It's called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
Yeah,
I think something like that. So, I hear great things. I can't wait to actually check it out.
Now, did you watch him much?
Love Letterman.
Yeah,
loved Letterman. Hated Jay Leno. Hated Jay Leno more after the Conan O'Brien disaster. But yeah, was never a Jay Leno guy.
That's crazy. That's like 8-9 years ago at this point.
It was like 2009, I think, something like that.
It was right after I started with the radio show.
Unbelievable. What a crazy scenario. And so we went from Jay Leno, who was known, I mean, I might not like him, but is known as one of the icons of late night television.
Yeah, exactly.
To Conan O'Brien, who was respected among the comedy world for 7 months.
Was it only that long?
Yeah. Back to Jay Leno for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
To Jimmy Fallon. So comedian, over the years.
All very
Johnny
different.
Carson's program, respected around the world as one of the greatest late night talk show hosts of all time, to a guy who now is like essentially playing large form pie face with celebrities on the stage and calling it a late night talk show.
Yeah.
So to say I'm not a fan would be an understatement.
If people like it, that's great. And if it's not for me.
No.
That's fine, but Leno wasn't for me either.
No, Leno, it's
just not for me, but in a different way.
I would, of the late night talk show hosts, David Letterman would be the one I would want to come back.
Yeah.
Before that, the Golden Globes last Sunday, very politically charged Golden Globes.
Yes.
Almost every speech and almost every, obviously,
Oprah.
What do they say? Every female except for 3 had black dresses on. And I don't know if the 3 just didn't get the memo or what, or if they'd already bought a dress and like, well, I'm not returning it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Time's Up movement, creating a legal defense fund for sexual harassment and assault victims.
Yes.
Was the main task of the night, and I guess it raised like $32 million.
Yeah, raised a ton of money.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, very different feel. Normally it's self-patting on the back type of thing at all these awards shows. That's what it is. It's rich people saying you were a really good rich person this last year.
No, you're the best. No, you're the best.
Here, go have another free drink.
Yeah.
But this year, different tone with the harassment and assault allegations.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, Donald Trump's remarks to about countries like, what were the specific Haiti and African countries, I believe, were his references.
Well, he
right?
said Haiti and Africa.
Yeah.
So I guess all African countries are included in that. Come on, like why do we even why do people like take him seriously? Why is he? I mean,
the problem is he says it in front of a room with his own staff.
Yeah.
Republican Congress people and Democratic Congress members.
Yeah.
And then expects it to just not get out.
And then denies it.
And yet he denies it, even though his staff had already said it, had already admitted it. Republican senators said it, and Democratic senators said, yeah, that happened. It's been multiple times confirmed, yet one tweet of, I didn't use any derogatory comments. Come on. It's madness.
Yeah.
This is just another thing that just screams of, I mean, this is more overt racism, because then he said countries like Norway are good people or whatever.
Right.
So what's the difference between Haiti and Norway, Steve? Hard to discern.
Yeah.
Bad look. Bad look.
Climate is much different.
This is like, now, do you watch John Oliver last week tonight?
I used to, but I haven't watched it. I probably haven't watched it in 3 or 4 months.
Well, he's been off since like December or late. Well, this season he's been doing whenever Donald Trump does something, he has a button that he'll push. He goes, this is it, guys. We got him. And he'll push the button and a big banner will drop and streamers will come down and everything. This would be another one of those scenarios.
Right.
And then someone comes in his ear and wait, this isn't the thing that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Listen, if making fun of a handicap reporter, if
calling everyone from Mexico like criminals and rapists.
Yep. There's not going to be anything the only thing that's going to push it over the edge of like, this is it, where he goes away, is the Robert Mueller Russia investigation.
And even that.
Who knows? We don't know. We really don't know. He might not be fully lying that I didn't do anything illegal or no, I did anything illegal, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the first topic. Stormy Daniels, I don't know if she's a current porn star or former at this point, who had a rendezvous with Donald Trump in 2006.
Allegedly.
And 1 month before the election, the same week Donald Trump sat at a table and had a press conference with the accusers of Bill Clinton. Mm-hmm. He paid off, allegedly, $130,000 to Stormy Daniels to not speak about this rendezvous in a Trump Tower hotel room while his wife Melania Trump was at home nursing Barron Trump, their newborn child.
So who leaked this?
I don't know. I don't know if I think it was New York Post, one of the papers type of thing. But yeah, I don't know specifically. But again, it's just another and at this point, because it's all allegedly, obviously, so you're not going to sway the supporters of Donald Trump by saying, "Well, can you believe he did this?" The same week that he sat there with Bill Clinton's accusers, and say, "Can you believe Bill Clinton?"
Right.
Because the way it sounds with this one is that this was all agreed upon with him and Melania. He can sleep around if he wants to pay people for it because Melania is disgusted by him, it sounds like.
And that's fine. Like, if you have that kind of relationship where you're allowed to do that, fine. But you can't also... You can never comment on anyone else's relationships or transgressions at that point.
And then the paying off thing, which now it sounds like there might be looking into if there was campaign funds used.
Oh, yeah.
To pay that off, which would be a misappropriation of funds and illegal.
Yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, I
think so.
I'd be upset if I
donated.
Don't think if I gave $100 to a campaign and then I found out that it went to pay off a porn star.
Yeah, you don't think Billy from Iowa and his farm, who thought prosperity was around the corner if he could get Donald Trump elected, you don't think his $50 thought it would go towards Stormy Daniels' hush fund?
Oh, imagine if they could do, if you could pinpoint the exact money that went there, exactly.
I want to know where my 50 went.
I want to meet that person and interview them.
Yeah, enjoy my 50.
Yeah. Or for anything. Mary, your $40 went to a taco bar that they had.
They catered an event.
Look, every campaign, obviously, there's going to be money that's just
stupid,
wasted on stupid things. But I want to know, hey, did my $50? Oh, my $50 bought 7 9-foot long streamers. Cool.
Yeah, for the victory party of when they lost. Something like that.
Yeah, they're actually still in the net up in the ceiling of whatever center it was.
I want those damn streamers. I paid for them. Give me the streamers.
Was that it?
That was it.
Okay.
Fast five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, my fast five. I've got a couple. Yeah, a few overlap with the ones that were on your list. But first is Mark Wahlberg.
You know what? I don't see the outrage against him.
I don't blame Mark Wahlberg at
all. Not one iota. I feel bad that he's gotten bad press for what happened when he did what Michelle Williams should have done to begin with.
Okay, number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is on the list because I was texting back and forth with my brother yesterday who was at the game where they played the Atlanta Falcons, and I sent him a text at the end of the game because the Eagles won the game. But they sure made it difficult. So I sent my brother a text. I said, boy, they really made it hard on themselves this week. And he said, yes, I'll take the win. But this has to be in the Fast Five this week.
The Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, fly, Eagles, fly.
On the road to victory.
They are, so I've been trying to rank the remaining teams and who I can root for. And the Eagles, before Carson Wentz went down, were number 1. But I have to be realistic. And realizing that they're probably not as good.
Nick Foles is no Carson Wentz.
Yeah. They're probably second for me now, or maybe third.
Okay.
Behind the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New Orleans Saints.
Okay. Next on the list, the ballistic missile threat.
I can't even imagine the fear.
Good God.
I can't even imagine.
So that somehow... we'll get back to it.
And that's why you don't live near the ocean.
That was in Hawaii. Was that yesterday?
Yesterday morning,
over. Okay. Next, shithole countries.
Huh. Yeah. It's not surprising anymore. And it hasn't been for the better part of 6 to 8 months.
Isn't that crazy?
It's the normal now.
Yeah. It's our new normal.
It's scary.
And finally, Facebook's news feed.
Oh, boy. Oh.
Yeah, that was a nice one. Nice one right there.
At least they're trying to fix it. I appreciate them trying to do something a little bit different instead of, you see places like Instagram just garbage.
The thing
Absolute garbage.
So Facebook, they announced that they were making changes to their news feed. Basically, it's going to feature the things from like friends and family before.
Yeah, more than your pages that you like.
Why haven't they just, like, for me, I just want it to be a chronological feed. I want to go on there. I want to go onto Facebook and I want to see, because by default it sets your, like, if you go to your timeline, it sets it to top stories,
which is awful.
And if I want to know what is current, I have to change that to most recent.
Yeah. Yep.
Why can't that just be an option?
I know.
Because it always switches it back. There's no reason that I should go onto Facebook and see something that I posted 4 days ago that has no new likes, no new comments, and have that be at the top of my feed. I just want everyone that I follow, everyone that I'm friends with, or companies that I follow, I want it to be a chronological feed.
Yeah. Twitter's the same.
Maybe I'm in the minority, but like, I don't want someone else to determine what is important to me. I think I'm good enough at determining what I like and what's important to me.
Instagram is the worst offender.
Are they?
Because
I barely use it.
I don't. I've had one post in like a year and a half on there, but I look at it sometimes, and I follow ESPN and SportsCenter. So when I'm scrolling by and I see a sports score from 4 days ago, how is that relevant to me today? Relevant. Because your algorithm says otherwise. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Now this article says Facebook might lose about $23 billion after the announcement of their change in their news feed.
It doesn't make any sense. It's better for it, I thought.
Well, I guess that, but they're going to lose because now you're telling all the companies that use Facebook
you're not
to advertise.
Be the priority.
You're not going to be the priority anymore. So yeah, their share fell 4% within hours of the announcement from Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, Mark.
So, but yeah, I feel like they're legitimately trying to do good, but it's.
When does Mark cash out?
And just,
what else do you have to do, man? There's already rumblings that he's going to run for some office in 2020,
which he probably will.
Probably.
I think that 2020 is going to be like we're going to have Vin Diesel, The Rock, Oprah, and Mark Zuckerberg.
Those are going to be our candidates.
I don't know. Why don't you just throw Scooby Doo?
Yeah,
in
no
there?
kidding.
So. All right. Well, I guess we'll see what happens with Facebook. Boy, I really feel bad with all the money that they're...
Shucks.
Yeah.
It's a bummer for those
before
people.
That, S-hole countries, we talked about that.
That was your 5 already?
Yeah. Facebook's news.
Huh. Yeah, the country remarks, like we said, sad that is...
It's the new normal.
Like, what, 5th in the most offensive things he's probably said in the year?
Yeah, I'd like to see a full list.
Just so like a rundown,
just so we can go back and
a rundown of faux pas that he has made, like verbal and racist and insulting things.
Yeah. Okay, we had the ballistic missile threat that was in Hawaii. Was it all of Hawaii or just the main?
I'm assuming it was just because it's all compact enough that it was probably the threat for everybody. Yeah, received.
Somehow they were doing basically like a test of the emergency alert system.
Yeah,
and somehow sent out a message that went to like all TV, radio, phones, saying that there is an incoming ballistic missile and to seek shelter immediately.
This is not a drill. Is what it said.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine looking at your phone or you're watching the news and all of a sudden that crawl comes across the screen? How does that happen? Because so many things had to go wrong in order for that to happen.
Right.
Somebody had to say, like, okay, so you have to test the system. Why are you inputting specific data that says, hey, Rob, type in, there is a ballistic missile on it.
Yeah.
There is a ballistic.
En route.
Why not, for a test, do you just put in, like, the old thing, like, this is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Yeah. I mean, so you're talking, cars were abandoned on the highways, obviously.
People were pulling sewer manhole covers off.
To get in. Wow.
And hiding under there. Come on, first of all, very stupid. I think a missile is going to at least penetrate the street.
Probably.
I mean, let's be honest.
What do you do? Because you're talking about a place that, Hawaii doesn't have basements because of the ocean.
Right.
If you don't have a bomb shelter, what do you do?
Get on a boat and just get on a speedboat.
Yeah.
And just, like, I don't know.
Do you do like what they told you in like the 50s and 60s with the nuclear, like just crawl under a desk?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you going to do?
That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What a screw up, though.
Terrifying.
Somebody should get fired for that. That's another government employee on my list.
Steve's jump against the government continues. He is angry.
Oh,
get him out of there.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing, man? Before that, we had the Philadelphia Eagles. They defeated
Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons yesterday,
15-10 in one of the ugliest games you'll ever see.
Wasn't great. Eagles kicker missed an extra point.
Yeah.
Just not a very exciting, I guess a somewhat exciting game. But man, as an Eagles fan, we were out for dinner last night, and that game was on at the bar that we were at. Man, just kept looking up there, and when the Falcons were like 4th and goal on the 2-yard line with 1 minute and 10 seconds left or something, I'm thinking if they get in the end zone, this game's over because there's no way that the Eagles are marching down the field 80 yards or whatever and scoring a touchdown. Yep,
it was an ugly game. I think they said that was the first game ever. A number 1 seed was the underdog against the visiting number 6 seed. That was
it makes sense because they were a number 1 seed because they had
quarterback.
Yeah, they had their quarterback who was knocked out a couple weeks ago.
But man, for my money, that was that almost had me fire up my sports betting account that I had online
really?
To put money on because that was the easiest money I'd seen in a while.
So they will face now. It's undetermined who they'll
correct
face.
Winner. They'll be at home. It'll be the winner of the Vikings and the New Orleans Saints, which will be obviously all settled by the time people are hearing this. Yep. But that's happening in about an hour.
All right. By the way, my brother was at that game yesterday. He was wearing his Stephen Kyle shirt.
Very nice.
Still unexplained why we don't have those cigars. What were they? The Fuente Don
Arturo Fuente, Don Carlos, Eye of the Shark. 2017. I've looked on eBay. We don't need the opus or anniversary editions, just whatever one was last year.
Now, why did we determine that he has to buy them and send them to us?
We didn't say buy. We'll pay for them, but he's the cigar guy who said he can get cigars.
So
our best avenue is eBay.
We're going to pay for the, okay, so you want him to do
Well, he can probably get it for cheaper than what we found on eBay, I would hope. Oddly radio silent, I'll tell you this right now. The friendship between me and your child is over if I don't have a lead.
So you are no longer friends with my nephew Joey.
Correct.
My 4-year-old nephew Joey.
Yeah.
He's being blacklisted.
He's getting punished for the sins of the father in not getting us an avenue to get the Arturo Fuente Eye of the Shark cigars. Now, I think
only hope that the next Facebook post from my brother is of Joey smoking a cigar.
And it's the Arturo Fuente Eye of the Shark. Yeah, now we have another listener, too, who is sort of tweeting at me or tweeting at us about cigars. I think it was James DeRaid, I want to say, was a big cigar guy. Well, listen, don't chat with me about cigars if you don't have a line.
Yeah, get us a couple Fuentes,
for me to get the 2017 Cigar Aficionado Cigar of the Year. Again, gladly pay for them if it's reasonable. I'm not going to pay $60 for a cigar when I don't even know what I'm smoking.
Right.
But come on, damn it. Somebody out there knows how to get these, and I can't be more disappointed that I didn't get it. Hashtag Eye of the Shark. Please help us out. Please help us get these cigars.
Yeah, come on. We need them by next week. And first on my list was Mark Wahlberg. I think Mark Wahlberg, if you're not familiar with the story, the movie All the Money in the World, Mark Wahlberg and Michelle Williams, they both starred in that, and that was the movie that Kevin Spacey was originally in, and then just weeks before its debut, who was it? Was it not Oliver Stone?
Christopher, the director.
Yeah.
The direct. Oh, boy, why can't I think of the name of that?
But anyway.
All I know is the actor was Christopher Plummer.
Yeah, the director decided, because Christopher Plummer was his original choice to play in that role. Couldn't do it or turned it down for whatever reason. Kevin Spacey then took on the role. Kevin Spacey, obviously, with all the allegations that came out in November about him, they decided we're not releasing this film with Kevin Spacey in it because that's going to do more harm than good. So at this point, the movie was done. Press had
well past done, yeah.
Probably for months at this point. They decided we're still going to release the movie in a couple of weeks but we're going to bring the cast back,
Yep.
reshoot every single scene that had Kevin Spacey in it with Christopher Plummer. They brought everyone in, and over the course of 9 days around Thanksgiving, they reshot all of the scenes, and the movie was still released on its original release date. Well, for that time, Mark Wahlberg, who was one of the leading roles in the movie, was paid $1.5 million.
Yep.
Which seems, I don't know, pretty fair, I guess.
Well, he essentially had said, his agent, I'm not coming back unless you pay me, which, again, you're paid to do a role. You're not paid to help cover up the studio's emergency actor switch, right?
Now, Michelle Williams, for the same amount of work, was paid $1,000.
Less than. So she accepted an $80 per diem to do all of the reshoots.
And from I saw a very quick quote of her saying she was much more. I think they obviously took advantage of her because she was like, "I'll come back. I'll do
whatever it takes.
It takes because of the terrible allegations and just wanted to help out in any way she could." So she was paid like we said less than $1,000. Mark Wahlberg was paid $1.5 million. Okay, so you can look at it and say, boy, Michelle Williams sure needs better representation.
Yeah.
She's represented by the same company that represents Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, it's a bad look on a lot of levels, but Mark Wahlberg getting the heat is not fair.
No, I don't think so at all.
It's a guy who, listen, he knew what I would negotiate for more money as well.
Sure, he's a paid actor.
Yeah, and he's one of the top actors in the world.
And he's there to, he gets paid well to do his job.
Yeah.
The person that he uses to make those negotiations made a negotiation, and I would assume that he has no idea
not his job,
what someone else on set makes. I mean, he probably knows, but that is not for him to be concerned about.
Right.
If somebody else is only getting $300,000, or in this case $1,000, I mean, yeah, he could say no. Make sure you pay them more.
Right.
And I think there's definitely a conversation to be had about the pay gap. But I think the onus is on the company who represents them.
Sure.
That made a terrible, terrible mistake.
Yeah.
By letting Michelle Williams only get paid $1,000.
Well, so Mark Wahlberg receiving a lot of heat. So yesterday, decided to donate the full $1.5 million to the Time's Up fund in Michelle Williams' name. That's very nice of him, and I know he doesn't need the $1.5 million, but man, that was all external pressure that was like, hey man, this heat's not going away. People are pissed at you for taking the money that was negotiated.
Yeah, that you should have been paid.
Yeah, and it probably looked worse when Michelle Williams because I'm sure they called and said, hey, we want to do this. Oh, sure, I'd do anything for the movie. So the studio probably took that as she's on board. Well, Wahlberg said 9-10 days somewhere overseas or whatever over a holiday.
Well,
pay me for my time.
Well, and I mean, it's not like that's the guy's only job.
No,
I mean,
he's working constantly.
Yeah, he's not a guy that's doing like a movie every 5 years.
Right.
So,
Unbelievable.
yeah, I think that good on him for donating that money.
Sure.
I think that's great. And I think that, like I said, there needs to be more talk about the wage gap. That is, I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shouldn't get as much heat.
No, feel bad. No, I don't feel bad. Mark Wahlberg's going to be fine.
Oh man, I feel bad that Mark Wahlberg had to give away $1.5 million.
I don't think anybody's going to not hire Mark Wahlberg anymore.
What is Mark?
Oh, I bet you he made. Here's my guess. I would bet he made 40. Oh, you going net worth?
Net worth, yeah.
Oh, okay. $210 million.
Come on. Of course, every article. How much is Mark Wahlberg? Forbes. Okay. According to Forbes. Now, what did you say?
210 is my guess.
210 million. You're way off.
Really?
Yeah. 68 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess just because he's made all these movies doesn't mean it's $20 million going in the bank and sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
But I just thought maybe there's some of those residuals from the Funky Bunch.
That's true.
That maybe were growing interest.
Yeah, I mean that sweet Good Vibrations cash.
Yay. He gets that residual check.
He definitely
every
does.
month, and it's probably like $85.
Oh, I bet it's more than that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I bet you there's months where it's higher, or if it gets used in a movie, it's obviously going to spike or something. But, I mean, on the regular, 8 months out of the year, it's probably a couple hundred. I don't know.
It's got to be. Yeah, he's got to make a decent amount off of it.
Can you imagine just getting like an extra $1,500 a year for a song you made in 1992 or whatever it was?
And then he actually gets a breakdown like, oh, cool, the Jam Squad on like Power 100 in Tuscaloosa played our song 4 times.
Yeah. Well,
Sweet.
It turns out that's their Friday song. right. They play it every Friday. Yeah. Hey guys, Friday morning 7:30. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. We got Marky Mark on the game.
Yo, it's about that time. I hope that happens.
Somebody
somewhere.
has to use Good Vibrations as their Friday song.
Hey, everybody want to get your weekend off to a good start? No better start than Good Vibrations.
Let's let Marky Mark take it away.
All right, it's about that time to break forth the rhythm and the rhyme.
Close up shop.
Yeah, I feel like all I did was bitch during the beginning of this episode.
No, it's funny. It's at this point, it's a running thread about how you have massive issues with any business you try to deal with, Steve.
Yeah, sure seems like it. So hopefully, by next week, everything will be resolved with my snowplow company. I won't have to bitch about it again for another hour. I can't imagine it will. Seems like bankruptcy court is in the immediate future for
it doesn't
ProScape.
seem like that's going to be remedied
for the company.
For amateurs robes. Right?
Yep, exactly. Okay, well, we'll talk to you next week, but in the meantime, you can download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Libsyn. Oh, special thanks to podcaster Leslie. She was out at the my Side Gigs live show in Decatur the other day, and had her Steve and Kyle shirt on. We took a picture together. She was fantastic.
The whole show, or just you two?
No, just us.
Okay, because I know the rest of the show has some apprehensions about taking pictures with the shirt.
I actually meant to. I was going to get one of the cohorts from that show on the air this morning on our podcast this morning.
Oh, really?
He requested to be a guest because of an incident or like some Twitter backlash that he's gotten due to our podcast.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, so he wanted to be on to explain himself. I don't know.
Well, in that case,
maybe we'll have him on.
In that case, we might as well just get him in here.
Oh, he won't come here.
Oh, other side of the tracks.
He doesn't like us.
Okay. All right, we'll talk about it. Maybe next week.
Yeah,
maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, maybe next week. Maybe we'll call him. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? This is our schedule, our show.
Yeah.
I'm not busting down your door, 6 a.m. on Tuesday on your little project. So leave us alone.
All right, you can follow us on Facebook at Steve and Kyle. On Twitter at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. And that Snapchat, still there. Still have that account.
Hey.
Username Steve and Kyle Pod.
We're currently squatting on that username.
We definitely are. But have a good week. Talk to you next week.